It is brought to you in part by Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. Verizon Wireless, America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. And by Wachovia, a Wells Fargo company. Ken Singleton and David Cohn. This is the opening game of a three-game series between the New York Yankees and the Texas Rangers. Should be close to a sellout here in the Bronx as the Yankees come off a road trip in which they went 7-3. And just seconds ago, well, we had a ceremonial first pitch, and that's Lucas Glover, the winner of the U.S. Open. He won it out at Bethpage in all types of bad weather. Young man out of Clemson University, and what a golfer he has proved to be. And he's a big-time Yankee fan. In fact, during his press conference, he was hoping that the Yankees would start to take off. Well, they have, Lucas, and so did you. Joba Chamberlain on the mound tonight, and he'll be facing the Texas Rangers starting lineup, which is brought to you by KFC. Life tastes better at KFC. Julio Bourbon will lead it off. The designated hitter will be the speed merchant at the top of the lineup for the Texas Rangers. Michael Young is red hot. He'll be at third base. Josh Hamilton in right field. Marlon Byrd in left field. I make that center field. Ian Kinsler will be at second. Nelson Cruz has done well against the Yankees this year. 3 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Pudge Rodriguez, well, back where it all started, in a Texas uniform. He's doing the catching. Chris Davis up from the minor leagues today. He'll be at first base. And Elvis is in the Bronx. Elvis Andrus will be playing shortstop for the Texas Rangers in batting ninth.
Here's a look at Joba Chamberlain on the season. 23 starts, 8-3, 3.98 ERA, 126 and 2/3 innings, 62 walks, a little high, and 109 strikeouts. We'll take a look at the Yankees pitcher scouting report brought to you by Burger King. Get delicious 2-for-4 Dollar King deals every day of the week at Burger King. He needs a good one, Kenny. You know, 3 straight starts where he's given up 4 runs, looking to right the ship tonight. He's good with extra rest, actually, even though it's a short sample. You know, in 4 starts with 6 or more days this season, he's 2-0 with a 2.74 ERA, and pound the strike zone. You know, according to my pitching charts, Kenny, you know, those first few starts after the break Joba had, he threw like 70% fastballs and really established it early. His last 3 starts, we mentioned he struggled. He's been down in the lower 60 percentile in terms of overall fastballs thrown. We're going to see early tonight if he can pound the strike zone with that fastball and establish it. It's going to be a good sign for Joba.
Julio Bourbon will lead it off for the Texas Rangers, who are just about ready to begin this homestand for the New York Yankees as they take on the Texas Rangers. Here's the first pitch of the ball game, and it's a little bit low for ball 1. Julio Bourbon recently recalled from the minor leagues. As you can see, he's gotten off to a pretty good start, hitting .432 with a homer and 7 runs batted in. This young man can fly. Pitch is in there for a call strike, and it's 1-1. Bourbon has already stolen 8 bases. He's only been caught 1 time. Breaking ball. It's a little bit low for ball 2. New York Yankees baseball is broadcast in Spanish. It's available by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. 2-1 pitch misses, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Well, David, you were talking about pounding the strike zone. He falls behind a speedy hitter. This is the type of guy you don't want to walk. 3-1 pitch is in there, and it's a full count. Let's check out the umpiring crew for tonight. Laz Diaz is calling balls and strikes. The veteran Bob Davidson at first base. Mike Muchinski at second, and Chuck Merriweather around at third. Pop foul, and the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now, Bourbon was born in Starkville, Mississippi. In fact, his father was a teacher at Mississippi State, but Bourbon grew up in the Dominican Republic. And talking to his manager, Ron Washington, he said he's got to work on his defensive skills. He is not going to put him out there defensively until he improves. He is right now, he's an offensive type player. 3-2 pitch is low and inside, and that's ball 4. Chamberlain missed with a breaking ball. Let's check out the Yankees on defense behind Joba Chamberlain tonight. From left to right in the outfield, you have Damon, Cabrera, and Swisher. In the infield, it's going to be Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. Jorge Posada doing the catching for Jabba Chamberlain, who's hit 11 batters this season, most in the American League. And here is Michael Young. All you can say is he has been red hot. 329, 21 homers, 63 runs batted in. One of the better hitters in the American League. And the first pitch is low and away for ball one. Michael Young is working on his 5th career 200 hit season.
Just a true pro. You know, one of the best compliments you can get from a player to another player is to say, you know what, this guy's a true professional team player. One of the best liked and most well-respected players in the league, Michael Young. And right on cue with the scouting report. He's coming off. He's the AL Player of the Week last week, hitting an 11 straight. He's the team leader. He moved from short to third base to open up a spot for Andrus to play short. The overall team defense has improved because of that. It takes a leader to do that. And Steady Eddie, you know, I know his name's Michael, but he's Steady Eddie. I mean, as you said, Kenny, you know, 5 seasons he's had 200 hits. He's on pace to do it again.
Another check on Barbone over at first base. We talked about his prowess as a base stealer. Last year in the minor leagues, he stole 56 bases. I know there's a big difference between the minors and the big leagues, but he's 8 out of 9 in the big leagues. He's got a decent lead over at first. There he goes. Pitch is a ball. The throw to second is not in time. He's in with his 9th stolen base in 10 tries.
Well, he gets a good jump. You see, Jabba's not particularly quick to home plate. The pitch was low. Never looks back. Little short hop, easily in there. Now, we don't think of Texas Rangers perennially as a speed-burning type of team, but this year they have the best percentage in the major leagues. As you see him get that hand in on the outside of the bag, 84% coming into this game. That's the 117th stolen base for Texas. Only caught 22 times.
2 balls and no strikes on Michael Young, and the pitch is hit in the air, foul down the right field side. It's 2-1. Barbone had 25 stolen bases in the minor leagues this year. And, well, he got down there in a hurry. You know, Ron Washington is a straight shooter. He's going to tell you what's going on with his club. And he's got him in the midst of the wild card race in the Western Division. They are currently 5 games behind the Angels in the West, but just a game and a half behind the Boston Red Sox in the wild card race. 2-1 pitch to Michael Young, and he fouls it off to the right once again, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. One thing about these Rangers, they have struck out the most in the American League. So if Jabba Chamberlain has that strikeout pitch working when he gets the 2 strikes, you might look for him to have a pretty good night in the strikeout column. A timeout is called by Jorge Posada. I'm not sure whose attention he's trying to get out there. And of course, you got some power. You've got Young with 21 homers, Kinsler with 26, Cruz with 26, and the Rangers just behind the Yankees, 2nd in the major leagues in homers. 2-2 pitch. Tried to check his swing and he went too far. So the first strikeout victim of the night is Michael Young.
We'll take a look at the sequence here. He falls behind 0-1 with his fastball, and that one's down. There's the stolen base. Right back with a good fastball, fouled off late. Again, good spot. 2-2, go to the slider, get the check swing and the call.
You know, when a team strikes out as much as the Rangers, it tells you they're a very aggressive team. They're not up there to walk. They're up there to swing the bats. So Michael Young is the first strikeout victim of the game for Jabba Chamberlain. And that'll bring up Josh Hamilton. After a slow start this year, Hamilton has started to swing the bat the way he did last year. Swinging a missed strike one. Good breaking ball. He's hit 11 of his last 13 games. But even so, he's only hit 2 home runs in his last 49 games. And here's the young man who put on that power show in the home run derby just across the street, the old Yankee Stadium last year. Next pitch is off the glove of Posada, but he slowed it down enough to recapture it and hold Barbone at second.
NFL's in their training camps right now. This is the old tip drill. Tip it up, keep your eye on it, and collect it. That's a tough play. Up high like that, looking to go inside with a fastball. Really, a little highlight. Nice play by Jorge.
Trying to check his swing, and Hamilton goes around too far. The breaking ball, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
It's a good slider, down and in, good location. See Hamilton reads fastball, tries to hold up, no chance.
He's hitting just 230 against right-handed pitching this year, 330 against lefties. That's a major discrepancy in favor of facing a left-handed pitcher for a left-handed batter. Jabba ahead on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Fouled off the glove of Posada. The count remains 1-2. Jabba's last start Sunday afternoon against the Seattle Mariners at Safeco Field. He was the starting pitcher in the final game of that 4-game series. The Yankees had won the first 3, but the Mariners got to him. Hamilton checks his swing that time, and it counts 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Yankees lost that game 10-3. That was Jabba on the 16th of the month. Way out on the West Coast. Seattle seems like a long time ago. That was a long road trip. It started in Seattle. 2-2 pitch to Hamilton. It's upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
So Jabba trying to add a little bit on that last fastball up to 95 miles an hour. His best fastball of the first inning, but sometimes that's when you overthrow, Siggy, and that's why you miss up high like that, when you try to add and get a strikeout with your fastball.
Runner at second with good speed. This will be the 19th pitch of the inning for Jabba Chamberlain. You talk about keeping pitch counts down. It's getting up there in the first. 3-2 pitch. It's lined into right field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Swisher will cut it off. Bourbon's going to be held at third by third base coach Dave Anderson. And Luke Gazzo, Bourbon held up to make sure the ball got through the infield. That was a rocket. And with his speed, he should have scored.
Well, it's another 3-2 slider. This one's in the zone. You kind of feel like on 3-2, you got to throw for a strike. Against a guy like Hamilton, that's a tough zone. I think the key here with Jabba, he's lucky Hamilton didn't get any lift on that. He hit it right on the line, as you said, Kenny. One hopper to Swisher, who gets it in quickly.
And that'll bring up Marlon Byrd, who's been put into the cleanup. So once again, Swisher getting over quickly to cut it off, gets the ball back in. That was a clean single. I'm surprised that Bourbon didn't score, because Swisher's not going to throw him out. He has that type of speed. Did he hold up when the ball was hit? Yeah, he did, and that was the difference. So first and third with 1 out. It'll bring up Marlon Byrd, who's been one of the hottest hitters in the Rangers lineup of late. Driven in 22 runs in his last 30 games. Breaking ball hit on the ground to short. This could be 2. Jeter to Cano for 1. On to Teixeira, and there's your double play. Jabba Chamberlain gets out of a major jam here in the top half of the first inning. The Rangers do not score as Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira turned a 6-4-3 double play. No score for the Texas Rangers. Talking about
Well, you saw Jabba kind of shake off a couple of times in that inning. He threw 2 straight 3-2 sliders to the leadoff hitter, Bourbon, and that's a speed burner you don't want to put on base. And then another 3-2 slider to Hamilton for the hit as well.
Let's check out the New York Yankees starting lineup, which is brought to you by Verizon Fios. Over 100 HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. At the very top, Derek Jeter leading off. He'll be in short. Johnny Damon in left field. Mark Teixeira will be at first base. A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez will clean up. He'll be at third. Hideki Matsui, his last 3 games, 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in, 4 runs scored. Well, he's been hot on the whole road trip. Jorge Posada will bat 6th. He'll do the catching. Robinson Cano will be at second base. Nick Swisher in right, and Melky Cabrera in center.
Here's the veteran Kevin Millwood on the season, 24 starts, 9-8, a good 3.43 ERA, 4.8 ERA rather, 155 in the third innings, 54-97 walks to strikeouts. Take a look at the Rangers pitching scouting report, brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Leading the way, he's still the leader of that staff, an innings eater. He's been struggling lately, 1-3 with a 5.70 ERA over his last 8 starts, and road woes. He's 2-6 on the road this year with a 4.28 ERA. At home, he's 7-2.
First pitch to Derek Jeter is high and outside for ball 1. Derek had a heck of a road trip, 21 for 43. That works out to a 488 batting average with 3 home runs. And you can see what he's done over his last 13 games. And here's the pitch, and Jeter fouls it off, 1-1. Any player in the major leagues, just pick any player. No player had more hits on one road trip than Derek Jeter had on the last road trip. 21 hits on the last road trip. Most hits on a Yankee road trip since Alfonso Soriano in 2003. And the 1-1 pitch from Millwood is fouled off, and it's 1-2.
You know, from a starting pitcher's perspective, Kenny, is you face a guy like Derek Jeter in the leadoff hole, a guy that's really aggressive, a really good first pitch fastball hitter. You know you just can't get any free strikes. You can't lay it in there. Jeter's ready to hit the minute he steps in the box. He's definitely not looking to walk.
Millwood ahead on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Pitch to Jeter is upstairs, and the count is 2-2. The last Yankee to have as many as 21 hits on a road trip and have an average as high as Jeter, you have to go back to June 57. That's 1957, of course, and that ball was outside. The count is full, 3-2. That was Bill Skowron. The Moose hit .528, had 28 hits on a road trip. 28. Well, the Yankees stay out for a month. 28 for 53. And Mickey Mantle with 21 for 42 on the same road trip. The Yankees, they had a 4-city trip, though. 3-2 pitch, and Jeter fouls it at the plate. On that particular trip, back in 1957, the Yankees went to Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago, and Kansas City. They might have been gone for a month. Three balls, 2 strikes on Jeter. He'll be followed by Damon and Teixeira here in the bottom of the first. No score if you're just joining us. First game of a 3-game series. 3-2 pitch, and Jeter fouls it at the plate. The count remains 3-2. Fans, tonight's closed captioning is brought to you by your local Lexus dealers. Well, Pudge Rodriguez behind the plate, and of course he was with the Yankees last year. Before the game, he and Jeter renewed acquaintances behind the bat. It looks like he has equipment malfunction there.
Well, I think that's a great pickup for the Rangers. Salto Lamacchia has got some injury problems. Pudge Rodriguez, so popular in Texas. To be able to slide right back into this Texas team at this point in the season is a huge pickup. As you see, Ivan the Great, his resume, 19 major league seasons. Man, as a catcher, boy, that says a lot. 14-time All-Star, 13 Gold Gloves, always had a cannon, always could throw out runners. He does have an MVP on his resume in 1999. Of course, the World Series championship with the Marlins.
He has caught more games than anybody has ever caught in Major League history, past Carlton Fisk this year. And when you look at it, he's the all-time hits leader for the Texas Rangers. And shortly, Derek Jeter is going to be the all-time hit leader for the Yankees. He needs 20 more to tie Lou Gehrig on the all-time Yankee list. Derek now with 2,701 hits as he steps in right now. And here's the 3-2 pitch. It's high and inside, and there's the walk. Jeter's first walk since July 28th. Almost a month. But it's not like he hasn't been hitting.
That's the thing. You know, that's a remarkable stat when you see that that's the first walk he's had in over 100 plate appearances. But at the same time, he's been sizzling hot, getting 3 hits a night almost on cue. 114 plate appearances his first walk. Came on the 8th pitch of that at-bat from Kevin Millwood.
Well, that was his 113th plate appearance, and now the streak is over with. He's drawn a walk. Here's Johnny Damon. And the first pitch to Damon is in there for a call strike. And Jeter's streak was the longest of any position player. You have players in the National League, but they're all pitchers. They haven't drawn a walk. Nobody's afraid of them. They throw it right down the middle. Damon loops one in the air to right field, moving over is Hamilton towards the gap, and he makes the catch for out number 1. It's time to check out the Texas Rangers on defense, and that's been one of the improvements of this team. Their defensive posture has improved this year. You got Cruz in left, Bird in center, and Hamilton in right. Young, Adras, Kinsler, and Davis. Rodriguez doing the catching. 13 Gold Gloves, most all-time by a catcher, and Kelvin Millwood on the mound tonight. As you can see, a good crowd on hand here in the Bronx, as usual. Mark Teixeira, 4-game hitting streak as he steps in. Got a man on with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Millwood deals, and a breaking ball, maybe a cutter, high and inside for ball 1. Teixeira had a couple of home runs, 9 runs batted in on the 10-game trip. He is second in the league in homers to Carlos Pena, who's gotten hot again with the home run bat for the Rays. Leads Teixeira by 4 now. Jeter's running. Pitches inside. Here's the throw by Pudge, and Jeter is thrown out by Pudge Rodriguez. And that is out number 2.
A really close play. We'll get another look at it. Jeter with a decent jump. Millwood's fairly quick to home plate. And of course, we just talked about Rodriguez and his Gold Glove caliber defense. And boy, I guess he did maybe get him on the arm. Looked like a good call. We'll get the closer look right here. Just on the arm before he touched the bag. Bang, bang.
So 2 outs, nobody on. 2 balls and no strikes to count on Teixeira. And that is in there for a call strike. It's 2-1.
Watch how Pudge gets rid of this ball so quickly. Boom. He's always been good at that, and always been able to get something on the throw as well. Quick release his entire career and a cannon for an arm, and still has it.
2-1 pitch is outside. Looked like a changeup. 3-1. I think everybody talks about his arm, but to me it's his footwork, which is he is so quick getting in position to throw the ball and get that arm working. Teixeira ahead on the count and takes one inside and draws a walk. So second walk this inning handed out by Kevin Millwood.
Kenny, it's exactly what you're talking about. His feet are already moving before he's even made the transfer out of the glove. You could see him get his feet set and get something behind that throw. Looked like a pitcher following through.
So 13. They don't hand out those Gold Gloves for nothing. There are 13 of them. Here's Alex Rodriguez, who's hit Millwood pretty well in the past. 389, 7 for 18 with a home run. 9 for 26 on the road trip for Alex Rodriguez. You can see Pudge looking over every once in a while to the pitching coach Mike Maddox. You saw him there right in the opening of the along the rail, and he's a big part of the reason why these Texas Rangers have really moved up in the pitching departments. Mike Maddox, new to the Rangers this year, can have a discussion between 2 veterans on the mound here.
You know, I gotta wonder if his brother Greg is going to become a pitching coach too. I'd be first in line if I was a GM to hire him as a pitching coach. But Mike Maddox certainly done an outstanding job this year. Texas coming into this game with a 4.13 overall team ERA, which is tied for second in the American League.
I think the most impressive thing, you can have the numbers of ERA, it's about runs allowed, and Texas has allowed the fewest runs in the league. That's hard to do in their ballpark. High and inside, A-Rod is straightened up, and it's ball 1. Millwood just 1-4 against the Yankees in his career. He's had one start against the Yankees this year. That was on May 26th in Texas, and he got a no decision. It was a game that the Rangers won 7-3. Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and a strike on Alex Rodriguez.
Well, I think you're right, Kenny. You see Millwood, used to be a power guy up in the mid-90s, probably averages around 90 with his fastball, but he can manufacture some movement, a little cut action. He's got a good changeup, too, to get ground balls when he needs it.
Breaking ball is looped towards right field. He's going to drop in for a base hit. Gutierrez is going to move as far as second base as Hamilton gets the ball back in. So the Yankees have 2 on with 2 outs here in the first, and that's their first hit of the ball game. A jam shot single to Alex Rodriguez. Yeah, he'll take it, even though he's smiling.
Big slow breaking ball, almost a reroute. You see almost a jelly leg and then a reload from A-Rod, and then just fight it off to right.
What you call it, reload?
Little jelly leg, reload, fight it off, get a base hit out of that.
That's the first time I've ever heard that, reload. Yeah. Better the second time around for Alex Rodriguez. 2 on, 2 out, and Hideki Matsui, one of the hitting heroes on the Yankee road trip, will step in. Got a nice round of applause. That's what he's done the last 3 games. And he takes a call strike from Millwood. Hideki had 10 hits on the road trip. 6 of them were home runs. And another meeting between these two. And he hit 2 on Sunday, both off Josh Beckett.
You can really see he's just got more life in his body, especially his lower half, since he got his knee drained. Moving around a little better.
Well, he had the knee drain, and he missed some games on the road trip. In fact, he only played 7 games and hit 6 home runs. 2 on and 2 outs. Pitches hit hard off the glove of Davis. The ball continues on into the corner. Teixeira's going to score. A-Rod's at third. He's going to be waved home. Here comes the throw to the plate, and he is safe. And the Yankees lead 2-0. Teixeira telling A-Rod, you did touch home plate. You don't have to go back. A bullet off the bat of Matsui drives in 2 runs.
Well, a bullet is right. It's a cutter, and it sits right there. It stops cutting, takes a seat, sits on the inner half, and Matsui comes out of his shoes. Launches it. Line drive right over the head of the first baseman, and it gets hung up down here in the corner. Little ricochet. Hamilton comes up. Kinsler tries to make the play. The throw's high. Everybody's telling A-Rod to get down. He stays up, runs right through.
And the Yankees jump out to the lead 2-0. That ball took a funny hop off the wall. Looked like Hamilton had it measured, and if he comes up with it cleanly, maybe A-Rod doesn't even attempt to score.
And a little log jam at home plate, as you see here. There's the ricochet that fooled Hamilton. We've got Teixeira and Posada and the home plate umpire all right here telling him to get down. A-Rod sees the high throw and decides to stay up.
Looked like commuters going for the 505 train down at the Grand Central.
A little gridlock at home plate there.
Posada against Texas 5 for 9 with a couple of home runs and 5 runs batted in this year. By the way, Matsui drove in 15 runs on the road trip, and he continues to drive in here as he gets back to the Bronx. Yankees jump out to a 2-0 lead. Matsui's at second with his 20th double of the season. The pitch to Posada is low and inside. Good stop by Pudge Rodriguez. And the count is 2 balls and a strike on Jorge Posada.
Yeah, to show you how hot Matsui is there, even though Millwood didn't get that pitch where he wanted to. Coming into this game, Millwood in that situation with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, opposing batters were batting 130 off of him this year. And Matsui with a big two-run double right there.
Inside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Millwood's already walked 2 batters this inning. Pitch count's getting up there. 12 balls, 12 strikes, 24 pitches. Timeout is called. Posada can pick and choose on this 3-1 pitch. It's on the way. It's driven to deep right field. This is way back, and this one is gone. A home run for Jorge Posada, and the Yankees lead 4-0. For Jorge, his 16th home run of the year. Drives in Matsui ahead of him, and the Yankees have jumped out here in the first inning.
Well, the 26th pitch of the inning for Millwood is a hanging changeup out over the plate. Tries to get that changeup down, almost telegraphs it, slows down his delivery, but Posada does not miss it. Even though he's a little out in front of it, gets it down the line and over the wall.
It's up, it's good. Here's Robinson Cano, the 7th Yankee to bat this inning.
Millwood trying to throw a 3-1 changeup, and sometimes you feel like you got to get it in the strike zone, and that's when you're prone to leave it up. And Posada does not miss it.
The Yankees have hit 6 home runs in the last 10 innings. And pitches in there for a called strike to Robinson Cano. Cano had one of the 5 home runs on Sunday in Boston, and that's what he's hitting this month. 30 hits in 21 games. And his next home run, he'll jump into a new category, 20. The 0-1 pitch from Millwood. Low and inside, it's a ball.
You know, this first inning for the Yankees offense is almost a microcosm of what they do so well. You know, they have the best ratio offensively in terms of walks to strikeouts. Conversely, that's what the Rangers don't do well. The Rangers don't walk a lot and they strike out a lot. The Yankees are just the opposite. They walk a lot and they don't strike out, and they hit home runs.
Well, they've gotten 2 walks this inning. One of them has scored. They've also had a single, a double, and a home run. There's Kevin Long, the hitting coach, talking to Alex Rodriguez. Cano tried to check his swing, did he? Yes, says Chuck Merriweather, and the count is 2 balls and a strike on the Yankees' second baseman.
Coming into this game, the Yankees with 765 strikeouts. The second lowest in the AL, as you see Robinson Cano trying to check that swing.
That's very good for a team that usually goes deep in counts, too, because you can see the teams of free swingers, sometimes they put the ball in play. Cano fouls it off, and they don't strike out much.
Well, yeah, that's it. That makes for a devastating offense when you combine those 3 factors. A team that walks a lot, doesn't strike out a lot, and hits home runs. That's just a monster of an offense for the Yankees.
So what that's telling you is they go deep in the counts. They usually get ahead on counts, and if you make a big mistake, you're not getting the ball back. 30th pitch of the inning coming up for Kevin Millwood, as the Yankees have made him work here in the first. 2-2 pitch to Cano is fouled off. He continues to make him work. The Yankees now with 192 home runs make you wonder who's going to hit number 200. And the way they're going to get there pretty soon. 2-2 pitch to Cano is hit high in the air behind second base. Drifting back is Andrus, but he's called off by Marlon Byrd, who makes the catch. Center fielder puts it away. The Yankees score 4 runs here in the bottom of the first inning. Jorge Posada's 16th home run capped off the 4-run inning. The Yankees are 50-14 when they score first. Fans, here's your chance to take on Russ. Brought to you by Toyota. Which Yankee player is the best candidate to win the American League MVP and why? What do you think? Go to my9tv.com to blog or email us a video with your thoughts. It's Take on Russ, brought to you by Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. Second inning, Ian Kinsler takes a pitch for a call strike from Jabba Chamberlain. Kinsler had been leading off. The Yankees with 4 runs in the bottom of the first to jump out here. And I did mention the Yankees are 50-14 when they score first. Kinsler fouls, pops one up into foul territory, or is it? Yes, it is, and it's Mark Teixeira backpedaling, makes the catch, and there's 1 out. 1 out for Nelson Cruz. Now let's see how Chamberlain gets through this. And David, he's kind of struggled in the first, throwing over 20 pitches. Here's Nelson Cruz. Cruz had been on the disabled list until recently. He'd sprained an ankle in Oakland. And he'd been a big part of the Rangers offense. 26 home runs on the year. And he put the Yankees in that home run category 3 different times.
Very good all-around player, too. A good defender in left field. Runs down balls in the outfield and hits for power.
Chamberlain deals, and it hits the corner for a call strike. Cruz is second only to Carlos Pena of the Rays for home runs per at-bat. About every 13.5 at-bats, Cruz goes deep. That pitch misses outside. It's a ball and a strike. One pitch, and that one misses. 2 balls and a strike. Swing and a miss on a slider, 2-2. Now the Yankees lately, their offense has been in gear. We saw that up at Fenway Park. In 3 of their last 7 wins, there have been a margin of 5 or more runs for the offense. And right away in the first inning here against the Rangers, they jump out by 4. 2-2 pitch on the way to Cruz. Tied inside, count is run full.
You can really see Jabba try to rear back and add a little bit to that fastball. 96, but got under it a little bit, up and in, a little too high.
Kind of pushed it.
Kind of pushed it a little bit.
3-2 pitch. Slider is swung on it. Missed, strike 3. Chamberlain's second strikeout of the night. Cruz goes down.
Take a look at the sequence here. Right on the black, strike 1. Just off. Coming in, just misses down and in. Here's the 2-1 slider, gets him a swing. Fastball up and in, overthrew it a little bit. Right back to another 3-2 slider, but a quality one. We talked about the Rangers, their propensity to strike out as a team. Coming in, leading the league with 976 strikeouts. Can add a couple more to that this game so far.
Pudge Rodriguez. Bouncing ball to third as he swings at the first pitch, and it gets by A-Rod and goes into left field for a base hit. So Pudge Rodriguez, the all-time hit leader for the Texas Rangers, adds to that total. A 2-out single here in this second inning.
Pudge has always been a good first pitch fastball hitter. Gets it. It's got some run. Posada wants it away. It runs over off the inside corner. Kind of ties up Rodriguez a little bit, but it finds the hole. Sometimes it's as you know, Kenny. It's not how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. And it had some top spin on it and got through pretty quickly.
Yeah, a little overspin propelled it through the infield. So he's on it first with 2 outs, and bring up Chris Davis, the first baseman. Davis just back from the minor leagues today. The Rangers had sent him down. He's got tremendous power. Young man from Longview, Texas. In fact, his favorite player growing up was Pudge Rodriguez. He had posters of Pudge in his room, and today's the first time he's gotten a chance to play with the player he grew up rooting for, Pudge Rodriguez. Davis takes outside ball 2. Now, early in the season, Davis was here. He hit a lot of home runs, but he was leading the league in strikeouts, and I think it was a good thing the Rangers sent him down, because you don't want a young player setting the all-time record for strikeouts. But now he's back. Drove in 30 runs in 44 games in AAA with 6 homers. Pudge is on the move. The pitch is outside for a ball, and it's a stolen base for Pudge Rodriguez. His first with the Rangers this year. The Yankees Rangers were not paying much attention to him.
Just a tremendous jump and a big leg kick from Jabba Chamberlain, and Posada doesn't even try. Pudge has always run very well, and I'm sorry, Flash, wherever you are, for a catcher. He runs very well.
Davis draws a walk. And there's 2 on now with 2 outs. It'll bring up Elvis Andrus, the young shortstop. And Posada have to talk to Jabba Chamberlain. That is Chamberlain's second walk in the game. Making himself work a little harder here in the second inning. Pitch count getting up. Andrus steps in. Legitimate candidate for Rookie of the Year in the American League. Did a good job at shortstop. Won't turn 21 years old until tomorrow. Trying to check his swing. Did he go? No, says first base umpire Bob Davidson. Ball 1 to Elvis Andrus, who lately has hit in 12 of his last 15 games. Second in the American League in triples with 7. One 0 pitch, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Once Pudge Rodriguez got on, John is starting to struggle out of the stretch.
Struggled a little bit out of the stretch, and he's had some problems with 2 outs this year. If you recall his last start in Seattle, he could have gotten out of that. A lot of those runs scored with 2 outs. Be able to get out of this inning, especially after the Yankees spotted 4 runs to work with.
2-0 pitch to Andrus, outside, way outside, ball 3. In fact, that game you were talking about in Seattle, the Mariners scored 10 runs that game. Now, not all of them off Jabba, but all 10 of their runs came with 2 outs. So they came up with the big hits. Back to the top of the lineup, and Julio Bourbon on deck. That one is right down the middle, in there for a call strike.
Jabba's 37th pitch so far. 18 strikes at 19 balls.
Runners go. The pitch is hit on the ground, and it's fair down the third baseline. Pudge Rodriguez is going to score. Davis to third. He's being waved home. And Andrus is in at second with a 2-run double, and now a 4-2 ball game. The Yankees have the lead.
On a 3-1 fastball. Right there, about just above the belt. You see Andrus turn on it. A-Rod trying to cover the bag, kind of gets his feet tangled. It's right down the line and scoots on by him. You see A-Rod's reaction there. He's going to cover the bag and then redirects and tries to make the play and just can't come up with it. Scoots on by and down in the corner. That's going to be good for 2 RBIs. Watch A-Rod. He sees the runner going. He's going to cover, and all of a sudden you got to redirect yourself. And he's disappointed. That's a play he thought maybe he could make.
Well, I think actually with Pudge Rodriguez on the move, it gave him a better chance of making the play because he was on the move trying to cover the bag. So now back to the top of the order. Julio Bourbon, who drew a walk and stole a base in the first inning. He's got Andrus at second. And he takes a pitch for a call strike. Now, Bourbon's 23 years old. Andrus is just 20, going to turn 21 tomorrow. These two were teammates in the minor leagues last year, and they just wreaked havoc on the bases. Oh, 1 pitch is hit in the air to center field. Hit pretty well. Melky Cabrera turns, going back, and makes the catch just in front of the warning track, and to prevent any further damage by the Rangers here in the second inning. But they scored 2 runs after 2 outs, and at the end of 1.5, as Melky hauls this one in, it's the Yankees 4 and the Rangers 2. to you in part by Acura. Acura Advance. Burger King. Get delicious 2 for $4 King deals every day of the week at Burger King. And by the New York State Lottery. Hey, you never know. Now we know the score as we go to the bottom of the second. Beautiful sunset. Yankees leading 4-2. Thanks for joining us on My 9. Ken Singleton and David Cohn. First of a 3-game series. Here's Nick Swisher. And he takes the first pitch from Kevin Millwood, maybe a little low for ball 1. Swisher hit 3 home runs on the just completed road trip. That's what he's done in his career against Kevin Millwood. He's hit him pretty well. And the 1-0 pitch. Swisher takes upstairs, and his 2 balls and no strikes. You know, big deal about Swisher hitting 18 of his 21 home runs on the road. He's got more home runs on the road than any player in the American League. 18 of them. This should be a pretty good pitch to hit right here. 2-0 pitch. And it's a call strike. Up and out over the plate. You think about the trade that the Yankees made to get Nick Swisher from Chicago. They sent Wilson Betemit. It's a heck of a deal by Brian Cashman. You know, they weren't sure how much Swisher was going to play because Xavier Nady was in spring training, but he goes down with an injury. Swisher swings and misses, and it's 2-2. But Swisher's been a big part of the offense.
Yeah, Brian Cashman bought low. Swisher coming off of an off season last year with the White Sox. And not a real favorite with Ozzie Guillen either, the manager of the White Sox. And Brian Cashman also had some insurance at first base. Swisher can play first, obviously, in case they did not sign Mark Teixeira.
I think he's made 7 starts at first this year. Teixeira is DH'd on those days. 2-2 pitch. Inside. Swisher jumps out of the way. Count is going full. But that was a smooth deal. You got a guy who's got 21 homers. He's driven in 66 runs. Real good on base percentage. Usually goes to, hey, look, it's a 3-2 count. Goes deep into counts, which helps wear out starting pitchers. Swisher leading it off for the Yankees here in the second. And here is the payoff pitch. And he pops it up. This is in the short left field. Coming on is Nelson Cruz. Comes in a couple of steps, makes the catch, and Swisher is out. Hey, Friday night, don't miss WWE SmackDown at a special time, 11 p.m. After SummerSlam's table, ladder, and chairs match, is Jeff Hardy still the heavyweight champion, or is CM Punk the one in charge? Find out the next action-packed WWE SmackDown at a special time, Friday at 11 on My 9. Looks like they're calling you, Coney. We want you.
A little smackdown going in the Bronx here in the first couple of innings.
Here's Melky Cabrera batting in the 9th spot. And he takes a off-speed breaking ball up high for ball 1. Melky a little slow on the road trip with the bat. He was 7 for 36. Played some solid defense. A couple of pictures of Melky. Broken back grounder. Nice stop by Davis, who will flip to Millwood for the out. So Chris Davis showing off his defensive prowess at first, robbing Melky Cabrera of what might have been an extra base hit.
Well, you called it. It's off the end of the bat. And just because of that fact, gives Davis just enough time to get over there right down the line, and a hustling Kevin Millwood covering. The fact that that ball wasn't hit that hard gave him that little extra step to get there, and Millwood with plenty of time to get over as well.
The 2 outs. And nobody on for the Yankees here in the second. How many times did you run that play in the spring training? It becomes like muscle memory, doesn't it?
It does.
Balls hit the right side, you break for first base.
It's a good feeling for a pitcher, too, when you see the runner running down first base line with the knob of the bat still in his hand. You know you made a good pitch.
Here is Jeter, who drew a walk. His first walk since July 28th. First time up tonight. And takes a pitch outside for a ball. Derek had gone 113 plate appearances without a base on balls. There are his American League ranks. There's a call strike, and it's 1-1. 2 outs, nobody on. Yankees up 4-2, bottom of the second inning. Jeter hitting .409 against Texas this year. One of those late afternoon batting averages. Pitch, a little blooper towards right field, and that average is going to go up. Derek Jeter with a bloop single, and is now 1 for 1 tonight, and has been on base twice. Yankees' 4th hit of the game.
Well, when you're hot, Kenny. You know what? And we've seen Derek Jeter do this so much. Get tied up, fight it off. Scott Brocious, the former third baseman for the Yankees in the 90s, called that swing a sort of a recession-proof swing. You won't go into slumps because he just lets the ball get so deep, and you think, man, he got jammed. He fought that pitch off, and we've seen Derek Jeter get so many hits in his career just like that.
Well, you should wish the national economy was recession-proof, huh? Here's Damon. And the first pitch is off-speed pitch outside, ball 1. By the way, Derek is now hitting 17 of his last 19 games. Damon flying out to right field. And Josh Hamilton in the first inning. Moving up on Lou Gehrig, just 19 behind now. For the all-time lead for hits by a Yankee. Inside for a ball. Yankees leading 4-2. Ken Singleton and David Cone here tonight. First game of a 3-game series between the Yankees and the Texas Rangers. The Yankees with a 7-game lead in the Eastern Division. The Rangers a game and a half behind the Boston Red Sox in the wild card. So important games for both these teams. Damon takes inside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes.
Kevin Millwood, 45 pitches. Neither pitcher has a good ratio of strikes to balls. 23 strikes, 22 balls so far.
That's way upstairs, nowhere near the strike zone, and with 2 outs, the Yankees got something going here at the bottom of the second inning. It's going to bring pitching coach Mike Maddox out to the mound. Dave, I got a question for you. Now, does the manager send the pitching coach out most of the time, or sometimes the pitching coach could do it on his own?
Well, a lot of times the manager will motion to the pitching coach, go out and talk to him, and a lot of times the pitching coach will look at the manager and say, I want to go talk to him. So it works both ways. Maddox, as we talked to before, Greg Maddox, the Hall of Fame pitcher, his brother. Mike Maddox certainly didn't have as much success pitching as his brother did, but he's an outstanding pitching coach. Done a good job.
He was with Milwaukee before he came to Texas. And the Texas Rangers have never really been known for pitching. The Rangers have not had a ERA as low as this since 1992, as low as 4.17. So that's a long time ago, and their ballpark's known as a hitting ballpark. As Mark Teixeira, he spent some time with the Rangers. He was signed by the Rangers. Hit his career high in home runs with Texas in 2005. Right now he's got Jeter at second and Damon at first. The Yankees trying to get a 2-out rally going with Mark Teixeira at the plate. And the pitch is a call strike. Teixeira is hitting a healthy .340 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year. Those are MVP type numbers.
Yes, they are. 24 home runs versus right-handed pitching this year, 19 at home.
That pitch misses. Change up is low, and it's a ball with a strike. Millwood changing speeds here.
That's the thing that probably surprised me the most about Teixeira, Kenny, is that swing left-handed. Boy, it's tailor-made for this ballpark.
Kind of an uppercut.
Slight uppercut swing. Good fastball hitter.
Get it up in the air and hit it to right field. That pitch misses, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
Got 31 home runs, 24 back left-handed.
That's about right. You hit about 2.5 to 1 because you get up about 2.5 times to 1, left-handed to right-handed. Two-one pitch, and it's pulled foul behind home plate, and A-Rod makes a nice play. A-Rod is on deck if Teixeira can keep it going here in the bottom of the second. The Yankees had 4 runs on 3 hits in the first inning. They got 2 on with 2 outs here in the second. A-Rod going to hand down a suit. Those are all-star votes when you get out the baseballs. Teixeira gets jammed and fouls it back, and the guy was 2-2.
Well, you can see how tight A-Rod and Teixeira are. It's almost like A-Rod's just going through every pitch with Teixeira's at bat here, standing behind him. Got a close relationship.
You sit there and you time the pitcher.
Yeah.
And both of them spent some time with the Texas Rangers. Pitch is popped up way up there on the left side of the infield. It's going to take a while to come down. Andrus is there, makes the catch, and the Yankees will leave 2 on here in the bottom of the second inning against Kevin Millwood and the Texas Rangers. At the end of 2 here in the Bronx, the Yankees lead 4-2. In time for tonight's Smile of the Game, and it's brought to you by new McCafe coffees made with fresh ground espresso, now at McDonald's. It's a beautiful smile. Yankee fan, I'm sure. Happy the Yankees are on top by a score of 4-2 as we head to the third inning. It's going to be Young, Hamilton, and Bird against Jabba Chamberlain. Michael Young struck out swinging, tried to check a swing in the first, and takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Let's check out the scores on the Burger King scoreboard. 4-2, Yankees on top. 4 runs on 4 hits. Michael Young fouls one back just to our right, and it's a ball and a strike on the all-star third baseman. Young needs one more triple to tie the Texas Ranger record held by former Yankee Ruben Sierra. Breaking ball, good slider, swung on and missed, 1-2. 43 triples is the Texas Rangers record. Can you imagine Ruben Sierra chugging out 43 triples? The pitches swung on and missed there. Of course, that was the younger Ruben. The 1-2 pitch off the end of the bat, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Michael Young usually hangs in there. You see Jabba struck him out in the first at bat with a slider. Got a swing and miss on 2 pitches ago on a slider. See if he goes back to it. Michael Young still against right-handed pitchers this year, hitting .332. So he hangs in there.
Hits the ball well to the opposite field. Fastball lined into right field, and it's caught by Nick Swisher. Well, right on cue, Michael Young hits a rocket to the opposite field, but Nick Swisher comes up with a heck of a play.
It's an excellent play by Swisher. He fully committed to go to that ball. If it gets by him, it might be a triple. Well, that's what you got to do. And Kenny, you can speak to it better than me, being the outfielder, but it looked to me like he committed all the way. He's going to try to make this play. Just enough time to get the ball before it hits the ground.
Yeah, any indecision, and you're caught no man's land on a ball hit that hard. Jabba appreciates the defensive help, and it'll bring up Josh Hamilton. Hits a slow roller. A good side job. It's going to be a tough play for Cano. He flips to the share, and the ball gets by him. And Josh Hamilton's going to be safe at first. And we'll see how they score that one. It's going to be a base hit for Josh Hamilton. Infield single, his second hit of the game.
Well, Hamilton runs well, and Robbie feels like the only thing he can do is the shuttle toss with the glove. It looks like it gets hung up in the glove a little bit. He's got to kind of tries to push it and pulls it. Kind of ball's hung up in his glove a little bit right there, as you see. He tries and just rolls off the fingers of the glove and kind of hooks it to Scherer with no chance. Hamilton runs well. He's an excellent athlete, a good outfielder. Makes a little move there toward, it could be misconstrued, but once you turn toward second base, you got to get back to first, because once you commit to second, it's no longer automatic that you get first base.
It could be the slightest move whatsoever, and they can get you out. Here's a pitch to Cruz, and it's inside for a ball. If they feel you've made any sort of an attempt to go to second, then you have to hustle back to first. Here's Marlon Byrd. Hit to an inning-ending double play in the first inning. That was a big double play. At the time, the Marlins had, I should say, the Rangers had runners on the corners with one out.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic double play for Texas this year. They've only hit into 65 double plays coming into this game. Now 66, as you mentioned, Kenny. And that is by far the fewest in the major leagues. 65 grounded into double plays this year for the Rangers.
One thing I noticed, they have a few guys with high stolen base totals, but everybody else has some. So that means they have decent speed on their club. That pitch is a ball. 2-0. You've got Bowen has 9. He hasn't been here that long. Young has 8. Hamilton has 8 steals. Bird has 8. Then you get into Kinsler with 24. Cruz with 17. And Andrus at the bottom with 24. So there's decent team speed there with Texas.
Good team speed, and it translates to good team defense as well this year.
2-0 pitch to Bird, and that is in there for a call strike. 2-1. Bird, like Mark Teixeira, played some collegiate ball at Georgia Tech. A pretty good program down there near Atlanta. 2-1 pitch. The runner's on the move. Here's Posada's throw to second, and Hamilton is thrown out by Jorge Posada. Hamilton has now stolen 8 out of 11. As Posada catches him stealing.
Not a good job. You see Hamilton gets hung up a little bit. An excellent throw by Posada on an off-speed pitch. Looked like a changeup. Now it's probably a hanging slider, but it's up. Posada gets rid of it quickly. Easily gets Hamilton at second base.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and a 3-1 count on Bird. It's a high foul ball, and this is out of play. Check out our Mercedes-Benz out-of-town scoreboard. Your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. The sponsors 6-2 Tampa Bay over Toronto in the 4th. Boston with a 2-1 lead on the White Sox. The Orioles just getting started in Minnesota. No score. Detroit at Los Angeles a little later on. Bird takes call, strike 3. He is out of there. So Jabba Chamberlain picks up his 3rd strikeout as Bird is caught looking. The Rangers pick up a hit and nothing else against Jabba here in the top of the 3rd. It's still 4-2 Yankees. series against the Rangers. Complete coverage starts at 6 with batting practice today and the pregame. And Thursday afternoon, the series concludes with pregame coverage starting at 12:30. Rangers-Yankees tomorrow and Thursday, only on Yes. Here's Alex Rodriguez, bottom of the third, and he swings at the first pitch off the end of the bat. It's a fair ball. Good stop by Davis, who regains his footing, steps on the bag, and A-Rod. One pitch, one out here in the third inning. Needed to chalk up the end of the bat there. One cue shot.
The first pitch cutter. Ball just keeps moving away from A-Rod. A-Rod swings at it like a straight fastball right off the end of the bat. Davis with plenty of time to get back and make it himself.
What A-Rod needed there was for the ball to hit the bag and take an erratic hop. On our Burger King scoreboard, the Yankees with 4 in the first, the Rangers with 2. They came right back with 2 in the second. Yankees leading 4-2. Here's Hideki Matsui. Drove in 2 of the runs in the first inning with a line shot double into the corner in right field. And he takes a pitch low and inside, has to jump back out of the way. Matsui has now driven in 17 runs in his last 8 games. And has got pushed the total up to 70 for the season. Pitches hit slowly towards second for Kinsler. And it's going to be 2 up and 2 down for the Yankees here in the third. Millwood trying for his first easy inning of this game. The Yankees put him under pressure in the first and in the second. Fans' copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent. That's written consent of the New York Yankees. Here's Jorge Posada. Posada capped off the scoring for the Yankees in the first inning with his 16th home run of the year into the seats in right field. That was with Matsui aboard. And he swings here at the first pitch. It's going to be an easy inning for Kevin Millwood. Into foul territory is Michael Young. He puts it away. A 4-pitch inning for Kevin. Can't get much better than that. But the Yankees maintain a 4-2 lead. Well, it's time for the Jeep Trivia Question, brought to you by your local Jeep dealers. Hideki Matsui is one of 2 Yankees in franchise history to have 3 multi-home run games on one road trip. Who is the other Yankee? Well, you put on your thinking caps, and we'll have the answer for you in the bottom half of the inning. Hideki, of course, had a 2 home run game in Seattle. Then he had a pair of multi-home run games in Boston at Fenway Park on the Yankees' last road trip. And the thing about it, he only played in 7 of the 10 games to get that done. Yankees leading 4-2, top of the 4th inning. Is that a half moon, David? It's a little less than
a little less than a half. Closer to a quarter.
Here's Ian Kinsler, who takes a pitch up high for ball one. Kinsler's been dropped down to leadoff spot, but he's up there in both home runs and runs batted in on this Rangers team. So maybe trying to take more advantage of his power. But he pops one up here. Robinson Cano calls for it, and there is one out here in the fourth. Kinsler has been primarily a leadoff hitter. But he is indeed a home run hitter.
You've got 26 home runs coming into this game. See Jaba's pitch total there. He's also in need of a quick inning here, a la Kevin Milwin in the last inning. As Kenny mentioned, only 4 pitches.
Here is Nelson Cruz. And a breaking ball is a call strike. Now Cruz, we mentioned, just coming off the disabled list, sprained an ankle. And he's not really quite gotten his stroke back yet. So still kind of feeling his way in the early stages of his return from the DL. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and tried to check his swing and misses inside. A ball and a strike. Cruz competed in the home run derby at the All-Star game in St. Louis. Finished second. Off the end of the bat, might have broken his bat. No, I guess it's still in one piece, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Cruz gets a home run for every 13.6 at bats. That's second best to Tampa Bay's Carlos Pena. Great ratio of at bats for home runs.
1-2 pitch, and breaking ball misses 2-2. By the way, Cruz was second to Prince Fielder. Two pitch is on the way, and a wild swing and a miss, strike 3. Jaba now has 4 strikeouts, and he's gotten Cruz twice.
Well, this is what it looks like when you swing a bat in a swimming pool. Completely fooled on the slider. The old underwater swing. Quality slider from Jaba, late breaking slider off the plate.
You know, that is therapy, though. You're supposed to be able to get a little stronger in the wrist and arms. Swinging a bat underwater. Here's Pudge Rodriguez. Takes pitch outside, ball 1. Pudge had a single, stolen base, and scored a run in the second inning. It's a nice analogy. I've done that too. 2 balls and no strikes on Rodriguez. Games caught, most all time. Pudge now 40 ahead of Carlton Fisk. There's some good catches on Bob Boone, Gary Carter, the kid, and Tony Pena. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and it's 2-1. Now Pudge has 13 Gold Gloves. Tony has 4. Popped up. Going to be a tough play. Going down the line is Teixeira, and this ball's going to fall in foul territory and hop into the seats. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Pudge Rodriguez. Teixeira with the effort, but that ball didn't have enough airtime for him to get to it. Was Pudge coming over from the Houston Astros? At least he stayed in state. And moving back up to the Texas Rangers.
That's why you bring your glove to the game, kids, right there. You never know.
Hey, wait, he's got a ball in the other hand.
Getting greedy now. Huh?
2 balls and 2 strikes, and it's outside. The count is run full at 3-2. That's really why you bring a glove to the ballpark. You also get on my 9. Here's the payoff pitch to Rodriguez, and it's ball 4. Jaba. Now he's looking for the quick inning. Going to have to work a little harder here in the 4th inning as he walks Pudge Rodriguez with 2 outs. 3rd walk charged to Chamberlain. Pudge actually stole the bag his last time. You pay a little bit more attention to him.
Jaba going with the last 2 3-2 counts. He's going with fastballs to break it up a little bit. So I like the pitch selection. You know, so far, Jaba's thrown 39 fastballs, 25 breaking balls, which breaks down to about 60% fastballs.
Is that enough, or would you like to see a little higher?
I'd like to see a little higher. His first 3 starts after the All-Star break, he was up around 70% fastballs when he had those great games.
Chris Davis takes a breaking ball upstairs for ball 1. Davis, the time we saw him in Texas, is an excellent low fastball hitter. And kind of an upswing, and let's see if he's made any changes or adjustments since being sent down to the minors. Tried to shorten his swing to be able to hit the high ball a little better. Swings here and fouls it back. Now, the reason why, if you're a good low ball hitter, it doesn't matter if you have a long swing, because all you have to do is drop the bat down and to extend the bat in itself just to hit the ball. But on a high pitch, about belt high or higher, a good fastball up high, you got to be quicker. And you got to pull your hands through, and you don't get the arm extension that you do on low pitches. So that's why you got to be quicker on the high pitches. Inside, he jumps out of the way, and it's a ball and a strike on Chris Davis.
Jaba averaging right around 93 miles an hour for his fastball. Topped out at 96 on one particular pitch.
There's the throw to first to check on Pudge. What'd you say? He runs well for a catcher?
Runs very well for a catcher. He always has. Pudge has been a great athlete.
Yeah. It's Gary Pettis, the first base coach, and you see the stopwatch in his hand there. Probably telling Pudge how quick Jaba is to the plate. Gary Pettis in his heyday could steal some bases. Good defender at center field too. Pudge is not going, and the pitch is lined over second and into right field. It's a base hit. Pudge Rodriguez is going to stop at second. So this combination of Rangers, just as they did in the second inning, got things going with 2 outs. In the second, Rodriguez singled, Davis walked. This time they reversed the order.
See the fastball middle away and a hooking type swing from Davis, kind of going out. This is what you call a hooking type of a swing, when you can go out and pull that outside pitch and yank it into right field. Top hand rolling over. Davis, kind of a power hitting left-handed first baseman, not looking to go the other way. He's looking to yank, looking to pull and get some lift.
Here's Elvis Andrus, who had a 2-run double and takes a breaking ball for a call strike here in the 4th inning. 2-run double in the 2nd inning. It is something that the Rangers went with a 20-year-old shortstop in spring training and moved a former Gold Glover to third in Michael Young. Pitch is fouled back, and the count is 0-2.
Yeah, it was a real source of controversy too. Michael Young not happy about it at first, and talked to some of his teammates. Ian Kinsler talked to him in the offseason and kind of convinced him that it was the right thing to do for the team. And I don't think there was any doubt. Michael Young's such a great team player, so well respected, that he made the decision. I'll go ahead and move once again to third base to make room for this kid.
Michael Young went on to make the All-Star team as a third baseman. Jaba's ahead on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Timeout is called. Meanwhile, Andrus has been just about everything as advertised. He's been a very good fielder. Gets his hit, steals his bases down at the bottom of the order. The Rangers aren't looking for him to provide all that much offense. And there's only been one problem between him and Ron Washington, the manager. I was talking to Washington before the game. And earlier this year, Andrus is making errors late in ball games. So Ron Washington called him into the office and said, look, if you want to be in the ball game from the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, when we're ahead, you got to concentrate and make the plays. He says, I got an 11-time Gold Glover on the bench in Omar Vizquel, and if you don't stop making errors late in ball games, you're going to be sitting next to me, and he'll be in the game. And he said, since that time, Andrus has picked up the pace. He got the message. That pitch is blown away. Good stop by Posada. It's 1-2.
That's classic Ron Washington. Just a class act, but an old school kind of a guy. You know, I think you said too, Kenny. He said that's enough. Kicked him out of the office after he made that point. You know, I'm done with you.
He made the point and said, you are dismissed. You can go now. The 1-2 pitch. Andrus checks the swing, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looked like Jabba tried to get him to chase a pitch out of the zone. Not quite close enough to the strike zone to get him to bite. Ken Singleton and David Cone tonight. Yankees leading 4-2 in the top of the 4th inning. Yankees scoring their 4 in the first inning, and the Rangers with their 2 in the second. 2-2 pitch hit on the ground towards the hole, and it's going to get through for a base hit. Rounding third, here's a throw to the plate. Pudge Rodriguez will score, and it's now a 4-3 ball game. And Andrus, a player who they were not counting on for that much offense, has driven in all 3 runs for the Rangers tonight.
Jeter had Andrus kind of shaded up the middle a bit, but he gets an off-speed pitch, a slider. It stays right there on the outer third. You can see it kind of rolls over. See Jeter cheating up the middle just a bit. And he's got a long way to go to cover that hole. Makes a dive, almost gets there. Would have saved a run if he knocks it down. Just couldn't quite make it. Jabba on his 74th pitch early in this game. Another 2-out RBI.
Top of the order, and Barbone takes a pitch for a strike. So Andrus now has doubled and singled and driven in all 3 runs. And turns it over to his former minor league teammate, now big league teammate, Julio Barbone, who has walked, stolen a base, and flied out to fairly deep center field. Inside, and it's a ball and a strike on Barbone. Rangers have the type of offense they can get back into any ball game. This all started with a 2-out walk. Breaking ball hit on the ground at first, but foul. In the second inning, it all started with a 2-out single, when the Rangers scored their 2 runs.
Those really get to you as a pitcher too, Kenny. When you got 2 outs. Those 2-out RBIs are huge offensively for a team and crushers for a pitcher. When you realize you're 1 pitch from getting out of that inning, and now you're still standing on the mound getting ready to throw your 78th pitch here at the bottom of the 4th. And we talked about Jabba on extra rest in this particular start. 8 days. Joe Girardi announced before the game that he will make his next start on time Sunday.
1-2 pitch to Barbone, and he fouls it back. By the way, the 3 runs batted in for Andrus tonight, a career high. So the young man off to a good start. Hey, it's his birthday tomorrow. An early birthday present for himself.
Not even legal yet, is he? Just turned 21 yet?
Anything wrong with the sides right there, David?
Well, we've seen Jabba. He's not afraid to shake off. He likes to call his own game. At times, Posada said he gets a little predictable in 3-2 counts, throwing sliders. But here, 1-2, he's got a definite idea.
Breaking ball and nub foul at the plate. Still remains a ball and 2 strikes. Now, we always talk about rhythm between a pitcher and a catcher, and sometimes you see when a pitcher's really rolling, you can almost see the same amount of time between each and every pitch. But sometimes you see it's disjointed. And I don't know, any bitterness on either side when that sort of thing happens, or can it be?
It can be frustrating at times, but you just have to be patient, especially with a man on second base here and Posada giving multiple signs. So if Jabba shakes him off, you got to go through the whole sequence again.
Ball is blooped over third. Here comes Damon. He's not going to get it. The ball falls in. Davis rounds third. He will score, and it's a 4-4 ball game. And once again, the Rangers, with some 2-out magic, just as they did in the second inning, have scored 2 runs.
Jabba chooses to go to the fastball. It ends up down the middle and actually ties him up a little bit. He fights it off. And even though he didn't execute the pitch where he wanted to, it wasn't hit that hard, and it bloops in and just in front of Johnny Damon.
Rangers now with 4 runs on 7 hits. You're right, it wasn't hit very well, but well placed. Barbone picks up his 8th major league run batted in. And that'll bring up the even more dangerous Michael Young. Young tonight is struck out and lined out. Nice play by Nick Swisher in the third inning. Robbed him of a hit. Breaking ball hits the inside corner for a call strike.
We talked about Jabba Chamberlain. As you see, Michael Young 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a foul out. But Jabba's clearly not sharp tonight. You know, his breakdown of pitches is 46 fastballs now and 33 breaking balls with maybe one changeup. So 57% fastballs. Not real good command of either his breaking stuff or his fastball tonight.
The 0-1 pitch, and that misses the outside corner. A ball and a strike. Now remember, it's been what, eight days since he's pitched.
Very tough. He threw a simulated game in the bullpen in between starts, up to 80 pitches. Trying to do everything he can in his work routine in between starts to stay sharp.
Ball is hit towards the middle and on into center field for a base hit. Andrus rounds third. He's going to score. Bourbon's on his way to third. He'll be in there safely, and moving down to second is Michael Young, as the Rangers have fought all the way back and now have taken the lead. It's 5-4 Texas. Jabba threw 7 pitches to get the first 2 outs. He's thrown 24 since.
You can see a fastball meant to go down and away ends up and out over the plate. Michael Young does not miss too many pitches like this. Doesn't try to do too much. Right back up the box. The Rangers have the lead. 5-4 now.
They have 5 runs on 8 hits. And now they got runners at second and third at 2 outs. And Josh Hamilton, the plate, who's got a couple of hits tonight. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch, strike 1. The Yankee bullpen has gotten busy. That is David Robertson. Inside, a ball and a strike. So after a pop-up and a strikeout, a walk, a single, another single, and then 2 more singles. And the Rangers have the lead. Changeup is swung on and missed, strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes on Josh Hamilton.
Back-to-back changeups and good ones. Now that's a pitch Jabba could really use when he's having trouble locating that fastball, because he does have a good changeup.
One-two pitch, slider low and in. Hamilton would not chase. You know, that's a pitch, David, it can be very effective, but you got to get it close enough to the strike zone to get that left-handed hitter to think it's a fastball. 2-2. Ball is hit towards the hole by Derek Jeter into left field for a base hit. Bourbon will score. Here comes Young, and the Rangers now lead 7-4. Well, the Rangers came alive with 2 outs in this inning and have scored 5 times.
We'll take a look at the sequence. Was Hamilton, the first pitch changeup, fastball in off the plate, back to the changeup. Now you got 1 and 2. Tries to come in with the slider down and in. It's a fastball that's up and in, and that shows you how strong Hamilton is to be able to fight this pitch off. That pitch is almost letter high above the belt. Gets tied up a little bit. Once again, Derek Jeter kind of cheating up the middle. Hamilton strong enough to get it through.
Rangers have batted around in this inning as Bird swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. Bird is hit to a double play and struck out. He's 0 for 2. Five straight singles after a walk by the Texas Rangers. A team that's known for their home run power. A lot of times a single will do the job. Breaking ball hangs high. It's 1-1. Tonight, Jabba has allowed the most earned runs he's ever allowed in a game. 7.
Doing a lot of 2-out damage too. He's so close to being out of it and can't quite finish off innings.
Same thing happened in Seattle. We mentioned the fact that the not all of the runs against Jabba, but 10 runs in that game scored by the Mariners, all with 2 outs. One and one to count on Marlon Byrd. High ball 2 balls and a strike.
That's the pitch right there. He just hasn't really been able to locate his fastball at all tonight. And that's led to a lot of breaking stuff. Broke out the changeup this inning to Hamilton to get ahead in that count. Couldn't finish him off. Joe Girardi announced before the game, it's been his customary with Jabba, not to tell him when he's pitching again, but he said Jabba will be on 5 days rest next time.
Breaking ball, in for a strike.
Or rather regular rest. So Jabba will start this Sunday, according to manager Joe Girardi before the game.
That will be against the Chicago White Sox, and that will close out the homestand. The Yankees will move on to Baltimore. Two pitch to Bird. Off the end of the bat, fouled back to the screen. The count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, 2 high-scoring ball clubs. If you make many mistakes, these 2 type of teams, you're going to give up some runs. And so far, 3.5 innings, 11 runs have been scored in this game, including 5 by the Texas Rangers here in the 4th. Pitch to Bird, and he fouls it off, fights off a high fastball.
Been a Murphy's Law inning for Jabba. Even the good pitches he has made this inning have been fought off and blooped in. And certainly hasn't been sharp with his control and kind of worked himself into some jams. And when he has made good pitches, you got to give Texas credit. They fought him off and gotten hits out of him.
The hardest hit was the one by Davis, the single to right field. That was a line drive. 2-2 pitch, and it's low and away, and that means Hamilton will be off and running with this 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. On deck is Ian Kinsler, who started the inning off with a harmless pop-up to second base. 95 pitches now, 43 pitches this inning for Jabba Chamberlain. Runner goes, and the pitch is called strike 3. Bird is called out on strikes, and the inning finally ends for Jabba Chamberlain, but not before the Texas Rangers come up with 5 runs and plenty of singles in this inning. Singles of all varieties, and the Rangers have taken the lead. For this evening, Our Jeep trivia question was: Hideki Matsui is one of 2 Yankees in a franchise history to have 3 multi-home run games on 1 road trip. Who is the other Yankee? It's one of the all-time greats, Mickey Mantle. The Mick. As Cano swings at the first pitch, lifts a high fly ball towards the corner in right field. Going back, and this one is gone. A home run for Robinson Cano. Nelson Cruz with the effort in the corner, but Cano hits his 20th home run of the year, and it's now a 7-5 ball game. The Yankees are coming right back at him.
Right down the line. Just inside the foul pole.
Robinson Cano has now joined the 20 home run club.
Cruz is jumping. He kind of overran it. Jumping in the wrong spot.
You know what I was taught, though, as an outfielder, Cody? If you can't actually make the play, you run by the foul pole to make it seem like it was a foul ball. And you can see Ron Washington out there arguing with Chuck Merriweather. And that is a new career high, 20 home runs for Robinson Cano. And I don't know, it looks like they might, as the umpires discuss this one.
It looked like it was clearly over the wall and ricocheted off of the metal railing up in here.
Merriweather called it a home run. So the umpires are doing the right thing here. They're having a discussion. Ron Washington came out of the dugout to protest, and they're going to go inside and take a look at it. Now here is Nelson Cruz. Did it hit the pole? Well, the fans automatically, they're jumping up and down like this one's gone.
It's clearly fair inside the foul pole.
Looked like it disappeared for a moment beyond the fence before coming back onto the field. Yep. Here's a good angle. It might have hit that crossbar back there and come back onto the field.
That's what it looked like to me. I mean, this metal pole right here looks like right there, a little ricochet.
So Ron Washington. I wonder what they would call it. I mean, it's a fair ball. Where does Cano have to go? Washington trying to keep a run off the board for the New York Yankees and maybe give his pitcher Kevin Millwood a chance to relax here. Millwood's not throwing, so he'll be all ready to crank it up when things restart. Let's take another look, David. This is expanded video, and it disappears beyond the fence.
Yeah, that's over. You get looks like the bottom of the foul screen right here, maybe ricocheting right off the foul screen right in there.
Well, if that's the case, that's a home run. Yep, that looks like what it was.
Yeah. Clearly fair, and a ricochet off of a yellow bar right there, maybe the bottom of the foul pole.
It's a home run. And it is a 7-5 ball game. That's all he wanted. Review it. So the crew chief, Bob Davidson, along with 3 of the other umpires, went down and reviewed it. And Cano, I do it all the time. Here's another look. It did look like it hit the bar right there at the bottom of the screen. And it's now a 7-5 game. He's a happy young man.
That's the smile of the day.
Right there. That's your McDonald's smile of the day. Here's Nick Swisher, who flied out to left field. And a swing and a miss, strike 1. Well, the Yankees now have 6 players with 20 or more home runs, and that ties the franchise mark set in 2004, and they go all the way back to 1961. And the Yankees set a team record with 242 home runs that year. Swisher swings and misses strike 2.
1941?
No, 1961.
Oh, 1961.
That was Maris and Mantle.
That's right.
Days
of course. Billy Crystal's movie.
Yeah, 242 was the record year when they hit 242 in 2004, I should say.
Right. Okay.
But Mantle and Maris and those Yankees. That was 04 broke the 61 club's record for home runs in a season. But Moose Skowron, who was on that 61 club, pointed out that the 61 Yankees did not have a designated hitter. Which is a good point. That's a fair point to make.
Excellent point.
Yes.
Tell you what, Moose is not a guy you want to mess with.
No.
Moose Skowron is a straight shooter, one of my favorites. In the old timers days here at Yankee Stadium.
0-2 pitches upstairs to Nick Swisher, who is one of the 6 Yankees with 20 home runs this year.
Moose and the late great Hank Bauer. Boy, what a treat, those two guys, to be able to talk to those guys. And Jabba, very frustrating night for Jabba.
7 earned runs, 9 hits in 4 innings. Swisher swings and misses strike 3. First strikeout victor from Kevin Millwood tonight. Who are the 6 Yankees with 20 home runs? Damon has 22. Teixeira has 31. A-Rod has 22. Matsui 23. Cano 20. And Swisher 21. Here's Melky Cabrera.
So in the Yankee bullpen there, David Robertson is set down, and it looks like we're going to see Chad Godin coming in relief.
Melky tonight was robbed of a hit by first baseman Chris Davis, and takes pitch for a call strike. Been kind of a wide open offensive game. 12 runs have been scored. They were not through the 4th inning. Texas leading 7-5. That's high. It's a ball and a strike on Melky Cabrera. The Yankees have been on fire of late. They won 16 of their last 20, 27 of their last 36, but they trail in this one. In the dirt, 2 balls and a strike.
In case you were wondering, Kenny, Boston's got a 2-1 lead over the White Sox in the top of the 6th in Boston. You see Millwood's pitches on the night. 64, number 65 coming up.
Ball was hit towards the mound slowly for Millwood. Flips to Davis, and there are 2 outs. Well, Saturday night, get your first look at the 2009 New York Giants straight from the source. From new players to new dreams, the new season starts here. The Giants training camp report Saturday night at 10:30 here on My 9. It's going to be that time of year. Just happened to have the numbers on that 1961 team. Mantle hit 54, but he didn't have the most. Roger Maris hit 61. Yogi Berra 22. Elston Howard 21. Moose Skowron 28 home runs. And Johnny Blanchard was most impressive in somewhat of a part-time role. Hit 21 home runs. Here's Jeter, who is 1 for 2. Walked, make that 1 for 1. Walked and singled.
To follow up on that Boston game, Freddie Garcia making a start for the White Sox, back from all of his arm problems against John Lester. 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th in Boston. Boston leading.
There's the call strike. 1-1 to Jeter. Freddie Garcia's been out long enough to grow a new one. The Yankees had some interest in him going back to spring training.
A lot of people were looking at Freddie Garcia for a long time. The White Sox finally pulled the trigger, and he's having a nice start for them tonight.
1-1 pitch to Jeter. Call strike 2. 1-2. Speaking of arm problems, Johan Santana. The bone chips in his elbow.
Bone chips, done for the season. Going to have surgery again, and the beat goes on for the Mets. Where they have just been snake bitten like no other team in the big leagues this year.
Oliver Perez on his way back to New York to have his knee checked out.
And Billy Wagner pulling the trigger. Go ahead and deciding to go to Boston.
Yeah, how about that? Sit right next to Jonathan Papelbon in the bullpen.
A couple of headstrong closers right there.
2-2 pitch on the way to Jeter. And he fouls it off.
I was on the Smoltz bandwagon. John Smoltz, when the Red Sox signed him, and it didn't work out up in Boston. But tell you what, he really had a nice start in St. Louis.
He struck out 9 hitters in a row.
9 in a row in his debut for the Cardinals.
9 total, 7 in a row.
7 straight. That's right.
Still impressive. 3-2 count now on Derek Jeter. You know what I saw, and just the highlights I saw, he was getting his arm on top a little more. His slider had a little more break to it instead of side to side.
Yeah, he was getting his slider to go down, and he mixed in his splitter very well too, which is a pitch that sort of eluded him in his starts with Boston this year.
Payoff pitch on the way to Derek Jeter, and it is just outside ball 4. So Jeter, who hadn't walked at 113 plate appearances, hadn't had a walk since July 28th, has walked twice in this game. And he's on with 2 outs. And to bring the tying run to the plate in the person of Johnny Damon. Four walks now handed out by Kevin Millwood. Damon swings and pops the first pitch out of play. Now, we mentioned the 1961 Yankee team. There are players who hit 20 or more home runs, and it's only fair. We got to go to the 2004 team, the team that holds the team record for home runs. A-Rod hit 36 that year. Gary Sheffield hit 36. Hideki Matsui hit 31 home runs that year. Derek Jeter had 23, Bernie Williams 22, and Jorge Posada had 21. That's what they call a well-rounded offense.
Gary Sheffield DH'd a lot that year, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's what Lou Skowron's talking about.
Damon takes one low and in, jumps out of the way, and it's a ball and a strike. Well, they don't call them Bronx Bombers for nothing. I mean, Yankees have always been known for home run power. And that is no exception this year. 6 players already with 20 or more homers. Damon, broken back roller off the front of the Yankee dugout, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. And what do you know? He's going to have to get a new bat.
A familiar sight for Johnny Damon, and mentioning home runs, Johnny Damon's got 15 at home this year out of his 22 on the season.
I think of all the Yankee hitters, he's benefited the most from the so-called short porch in right field. Takes a call, strike 3 from Millwood, and is out of there. So Millwood comes out of it just giving up 1 run. And that run came on the 20th home run of the year for Robinson Cano. Down the line and left. Just fair. It's 7-5 Texas. Hey fans, want to own a piece of the original Yankee Stadium? Take home many artifacts, including stadium seats from the original Yankee Stadium. Call Yankee Steiner Collectibles at 800-759-SCORE. There are many unique items which are perfect addition to any Yankee fan's collection. Contact Yankee Steiner Collectibles today at 800-759-SCORE or visit steinersports.com or yankees.com. It's on to the fifth inning. And this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon Fios. Over 100 HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. Chad Godin. Those are his numbers with the San Diego and the Yankees this year.
With 114 strikeouts kind of jump at you in 113 innings, but also 62 walks.
And he deals a pitch low and inside, ball one on our Nissan scoreboard. Well, both teams have had an outburst in it. Yankees with 4 in the first, the Rangers with 5 in the fourth, and Texas leads 7-5. Kinsler swings, lifts one in the air to right center. On the move is Nick Swisher. Closes the gap, makes the catch, and there's one out. Kinsler is now 0 for 3. One thing about Godin that I notice in his start in Oakland, he's got a good slider. Been around the block, been with several teams.
He had some good starts early in the year in San Diego. And struggled as of late before the Yankees picked him up in the trade.
Nelson Cruz with a swing and a miss. August 19th at Oakland, Godin started, went 4 in the third innings. Gave up 1 hit, no runs, 5 walks, got him in trouble, and 5 strikeouts. In fact, he came out of the game with 1 out and the bases loaded. That pitch is low for a ball. Now Alfredo Aceves came in the game and got a pitcher to home to first double play to get out of the inning. So Godin in relief of Jabba Chamberlain. There's that slider and it's low and away for a ball. 2 balls in a strike.
He gets good spin on that slider when it's right. You could tell it almost makes a left-hand turn, gets tight spin on it, breaks off of the plate. That's his #1 strikeout pitch. Although he does have a good changeup for lefties.
Fastball hit in the air and hit well to right field. Nick Swisher going back, looks up. This one's gone. A home run for Nelson Cruz. After striking out twice, he got a pitch out over the plate and hammers it into the seats in right field. And it's now 8-5. The Texas Rangers lead. There is hitting coach Rudy Jaramillo, one of the best hitting coaches in the game. And he sees one of his young charges hit his 27th home run of the year.
And here it comes, number 27, right down the middle. Nelson Cruz not trying to do too much with it, driving that ball to right field. Short stride, a lot of bat speed. No doubt.
That's his 4th home run of the year against the Yankees. Here's Pudge Rodriguez, who was single and walked and scored a couple of runs. He swings, drives one to right field. Swisher going back on the warning track and will make the catch for out number 2. So the Rangers hitting the ball to right field this inning. 2 flyouts and a homer. And that'll bring up Chris Davis against Godin. Mentioned Godin has moved around in his career. He's several ball clubs as his pitch is fouled off. In fact, he's Rays, the Jays, and the A's. Those are 3 of the teams he's been with.
And still relatively young, too. He was born in 1983. He was with the Rays. He was with the Jays and the A's and the Cubs, too, along with the Padres.
Ball is hit hard, and Davis has a second hit. Welcome back to the big leagues. 2 for 2 with a walk for Chris Davis. Just recalled tonight to the Texas Rangers.
Right up out over the plate. You can see he's trying to get that ball in. Runs out over the middle, right above the belt. Right at the belt. Kenny, as you said, that's what's called belted, right? throw it at the belt down the middle. It gets belted in the right field. And Davis back in the big leagues after a stint in the minor leagues. He's going to play first base every day, according to Ron Washington, and off to a good start.
Pitches in there for a strike to Elvis Andrus, has had himself a big night. A double and a single, scored a run and driven in 3. Breaking ball misses, and it's a ball and a strike. The Yankees would have their own version of "Don't Be Cruel" for Elvis, wouldn't they? After what he's done tonight. That's before your time, Cole.
Well, man, my mom loved Elvis. we listened to Elvis growing up. All those Elvis movies.
Well, she had to get online for that, to be honest with you. Here's a pitch miss. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Elvis and Tom Jones. Ooh, Tom. Definitely not unusual. Yes.
That pitch is in there for a call strike. Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Slider is low and away, and the count has gone full at 3-2. The Rangers showing plenty of offense in the opening game here. They're just coming off a series in which they played the Rays down at Tampa Bay, and Texas dropped 2 of 3 to the Rays. Both of those teams in the wild card race. Pitch is on the way, and it's grounded foul off the bat of Andrus. So Davis, who was off and running on the 3-2 pitch, will have to head on back to first base. Yes, another satisfied customer. But hey, how many you got there, son? Once again, the 3-2 pitch, and it's hit on the ground slowly. Going to be a tough play for A-Rod. Andrus runs too well and beats it out for an infield hit. Yeah, don't be cruel. He's 3 for 3.
And no defense for this. Right off the end of the bat. He's out of the box quickly. A-Rod's only chance was to barehand it, and he really should have ate it. But gives it the effort and no chance.
Well, Godin has now given up 3 hits in this inning, a home run and 2 singles. And with 2 outs, it's back to the top of the order for Julio Bourbon. Was 1 for 2 with a walk, a stolen base, and an RBI and a run scored. Another young Ranger having a good night. Swings and hits one high in the air to deep right center field. Going back is Melky Cabrera, and he makes the catch. And that will do it for Texas here in the 5th inning. Well, Nelson Cruz got busy. After striking out twice, he homers here in the 5th inning. The Rangers pick up 1 run and now lead 8-5 over the Yankees. Saw Mark Teixeira last night on the David Letterman show, the Late Show, and giving David Letterman some hitting tips. Watch this one. Oh, that's gone.
Man, is that good? That's it.
You know what? American League pitchers don't say that when he hits one that well. Teixeira tonight has walked and scored and also popped up on our Nissan scoreboard. The Texas Rangers lead it 8-5. And Teixeira pops this one up into foul territory. Coming over is Pudge Rodriguez along with Michael Young, and Young makes the catch. Just in front of Pudge Rodriguez. Looks like there's some indecision between the two, but the play is made.
You see they're both kind of looking at each other. Michael Young takes charge at the last minute. See Pudge calling out, Michael, help.
Sliding into your picture and making the play is Michael Young. Here's Alex Rodriguez, who singled and scored and grounded out. 1 for 2. Yankees down by 3 here in the bottom of the 5th, and the first pitch from Millwood is high and inside, ball 1. Millwood has kind of a strange way of delivering the ball. As A-Rod takes one in there first, kind of side saddle on the mound. He doesn't straighten up to the target. And watch him set. It's almost like he's ready to work from the stretch.
Right, kind of a half stretch position, just to start out cheating, getting your shoulders turned. So you're already turned with your shoulders at that point.
Inside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Alex Rodriguez.
A little mechanism that helps him stay closed, trying to keep that left shoulder in as long as you can. Every pitcher tries to do that. He just starts with him closed almost.
A-Rod a hit on the count. 2 balls and a strike. Breaking ball is looped over first base. Coming on is a right fielder, Hamilton. He will not get it. A-Rod with his second bloop single to right field of the night, and he's now 2 for 3.
Millwood trying to go down and away. This is a hanging cutter. It stays up and in. You see A-Rod goes to get it, just fights it off. Almost looking to where the ball is. Watch his reaction with his head. He's looking up. He doesn't know where it is yet. Finally sees it. He says, oh, man, look at the look on that face. Wow, I'm going to get a hit out of that.
He's got some cheater hits tonight.
Well, the Rangers have had a few hits like this tonight, too. So, turnabout, it's fair play, and A-Rod with another bloop hit.
Yankees now with 5 runs on 6 hits. A-Rod has a couple of them. Here's Hideki Matsui. Doubled in the first inning. There's nothing cheap about his hit. It was a rocket into the corner. And it gave the Yankees their initial 2 runs of the ball game. Hideki then grabbed it the second. 1 out, 1 on. Yankees trail by 3 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch to Matsui. Just misses the corner, and it's ball 1. Matsui's done well against the Texas Rangers this year. He's hit 3 home runs, driven in 9 runs against Texas. Just certain teams that you match up well against. Outside ball 2. Looked like a change, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. The veteran Kevin Millwood, who at one time was part of the Atlanta Braves rotation. You were talking about Greg Maddux, Tommy Glavine, John Smoltz, and Kevin Millwood. 2-0 pitch, and Matsui fouls it off to the left, and it's 2 balls and a strike. So, David, when we mentioned Billy Wagner going over to the Boston Red Sox, what do you think about can they coexist, he and Papelbon?
I don't see why not. I mean, you're really talking about the last month of the season. It gives Boston a nice compliment to Okajima, who's more of a finesse pitcher. Billy Wagner came out the other night in his first couple of outings since elbow surgery, throwing 95 miles an hour. Very impressive. I think you could find a spot for a lefty that can throw 95 with that experience on any team.
2-1 pitch, and Matsui drives it into left center field. Hit pretty well, but Cruz is over. And he is going to make the catch for out number 2. Friday night, Chicago White Sox come to town, and you can catch all the action right here on My 9. It all starts at 7 p.m. as the Red Hot Yankees look for a little payback against Ozzie Guillen's White Sox. Yankees White Sox Friday at 7 on My 9. That's right, payback. That's the only series that the Yankees have lost since the All-Star break. And battle of the Sox tonight. Bottom of the 7th inning at Fenway Park, and the White Sox lead the Red Sox 3-2. Here's Posada.
Looks like we may see Jake Peavy too. The White Sox got Jake Peavy in a trade from the Padres earlier, right around the trade deadline, and kind of a surprise deal by Kenny Williams. A lot of speculation that he may start Saturday against the Yankees.
Posada homered in the first inning at 16th of the season. That was a 2-run shot. Then he fouled out to Michael Young, the third baseman, in the third. They ride at first with 2 outs. Pitch to Posada. Look out, Jorge. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, Kenny, you were talking about Kevin Millwood, the veteran, broke in 1997 with the Braves. Stayed with them through 2002, went to Philly for a couple of years, Cleveland for a stop, and been with the Rangers the last 4 years. His best year in 02 with the Braves, 18-8, with a 3.24 ERA. He's got 151 wins in his career.
3-0 to Posada. In fact, his year with Cleveland, Millwood led the league in earned run average.
And Millwood does have a no-hitter on his resume with the Phillies, at 151.
Back in 2003, in April, he threw a no-hitter. And he threw a 4-pitch walk to Jorge Posada right here. So the Yankees will bring the tying run to the plate with Robinson Cano coming up. Here's Millwood.
Against the Giants. 1-0 game, too. Kevin Millwood now 151 and 119 on his career. A solid pitcher for a long time. Clearly the leader of this Rangers staff.
Well, the Giants have only had 3 no-hitters pitched against them. Kevin Gross, Kevin Brown, and Kevin Millwood. The only Kevin not to throw a no-hitter against was Kevin Smolin. He didn't throw a no-hitter.
He's got time.
Our producer Kevin Smolin. He's got a pretty good splitter from what I heard.
He got a good split?
Yeah.
He's a free agent this year, isn't he? He'll be on the market. He's going to draw some interest, I'll tell you that.
Oh, big time. Here's Cano. Homered his last time up, swings here and fouls it back. Millwood has now walked 5 Yankees in this game.
I think Smolin likes his personal catcher, too, John Moore. I don't know if he can break those guys up.
Butch and Sundance. Cano is fly to center and hit his 20th home run of the year right down the left field line. It actually drew a review. And from the Yankee standpoint, it was a rave review because it was a home run. That came last inning. Inside, straightens him up, and it's a ball and a strike. You see what Millwood's doing? That he tries to open up the outside corner. He's a veteran pitcher, making hitters move around a bit. Hard inside, soft stuff away. The 1-1 pitch, and Cano hits a slow roller towards first, and Davis has it, steps on the bag, and the Yankees are going to leave 2 men on here in the 5th inning against Kevin Millwood. At the end of 5, the Rangers lead it by a score 8-5 over the Yankees. Tampa Bay over Toronto, 7-2 in the top of the 7th at Rogers Center. 3-3 now in the bottom of the 7th inning at Fenway Park. The White Sox and the Red Sox. Baltimore leading Minnesota 4-2 in the bottom of the 3rd. As at the Metrodome, Detroit and the Angels getting on a little bit later on the West Coast. In the National League, San Diego over Atlanta in the bottom of the 8th inning. Philadelphia trails Pittsburgh 3-2. The Mets trail the Marlins 2-1, and the Dodgers lead Colorado by a score of 1-0. It's on to the top of the 6th inning here at Yankee Stadium right here on My 9, and Michael Young's going to lead it off for the Rangers. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. And he swings here, fouls it back, and it's a ball and a strike. Michael Young had a 2-out single to drive in a run in the 4th inning. That's when the Rangers scored 5 times, all with 2 outs. In the 4th, ground ball to second for Robinson Cano. That's a worm burner, and he'll throw him out. 1 down here in the 6th. Back with the exception of Cruz's home run in the 5th inning. All the runs tonight for the Rangers have come with 2 outs. And in his last 2 starts, all the runs against Chaba Chamberlain have come with 2 outs. Chad Godin now working in relief of Chaba. Here's Josh Hamilton, who is 3 for 3, 3 singles. And first pitch is outside for ball 1.
Probably hurts the most, Kenny, is when, as a pitcher, 2 out runs given up. But Mel Stottlemyre, my former pitching coach with the Yankees and the Mets, used to institute a fine for 2 out walks.
Bouncing ball towards the middle. Derek Jeter is there behind the bag at second, throws on the first, and they're 2 down.
We had our own kangaroo court back then, and that was one of Mel Stottlemyre's sticklers with 2 outs, 2 out walks, and we saw what that led to tonight for Chaba Chamberlain. And it wasn't much of a fine, maybe $50 here or there. We throw it in the kitty and have a party at the end of the year. But Mel Stottlemyre really believed in that you get 2 outs in an inning, and then you give up a walk to extend the inning. It leads to trouble more times than not.
Speaking of 2 outs, there are 2 outs now, and Marlon Bird's at the plate. Bird's had a rough night. Grabbed into a double play and struck out twice. There's that slider from Godin. It's down and away for a ball. Bird came in hitting in 7 of his last 8 games. Ron Washington put him in the 4th spot in the order. Didn't swing the bat so well. Another pitch low. Another slider low. And it's 2 balls and no strikes on Marlon Bird. In fairness to Chaba, in that 4th inning when the Rangers scored 5 times, pitches inside ball 3. I wouldn't exactly call them bleeders, but they weren't exactly frozen ropes. I think that the hardest hit ball was by Chris Davis. A line single to right field. The others snuck through the infield, blooper here, blooper there, but he just couldn't put the Rangers away. And that is a 4-pitch walk. There you are, your 2-out walk.
That's a fine.
$50?
$50. Mel Stottlemyre. There you go. Now it's Dave Island. But you're right, Kenny. Chaba did, even when he did make good pitches. I'm sure he would be the first one to admit that his command was a little off tonight, both with his breaking stuff and his fastball. But he did make some good pitches that inning. And to Texas's credit, they fought him off. Some of them not hit hard. A couple just by Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter kind of cheating up the middle on a couple of balls. And Hamilton hit one that he kind of jam shotted. Just got it by Jeter.
Here's Kinsler, who takes a pitch inside for a ball. We mentioned Kinsler had been the primary leadoff hitter for these Texas Rangers until Borbon came on the scene. Kinsler had 200 consecutive starts leading off. And it's a little blooper, a little bleeder, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Bird to 3rd, and he's going to hold on there as the Yankees get the ball back in quickly. Bird was flying around 2nd and thinking about home, but Kinsler had himself a bloop double down the right field line.
Kinsler came in 0 for 3. Now he's 1 for 4. He just fought it off. If you're a hitter, that's good hitting. If you're a pitcher, you're feeling a little sorry for yourself. But once again, Texas, after a 2-out walk, now finds themselves in a situation of 2nd, 3rd, and a prime RBI spot again for Mr. Cruz coming up now, who's got a home run in his last at-bat.
Dave Anderson, the 3rd base coach, has 2 runners in scoring position with Bird at 3rd and Kinsler at 2nd. And here's Nelson Cruz, who struck out twice, then homered into the right field stands. His 27th of the season. The Yankees have not set down the Rangers in order in this game. Pitch to Cruz, hits the outside corner for a call strike. Now they did face 3 batters in the 3rd inning, but Hamilton got on and was thrown out stealing for the 2nd out. And here's call, strike 2, breaking ball. Cruz didn't think so. He's talking it over with Laz Diaz, the home plate umpire. Umpire always wins this argument.
Well, he does, and this is a tight little slider right there.
Oh, that's a strike.
Looks like it's on the corner to me, and I tell you what, Laz Diaz has been, if anything, a little more tight than generous in terms of a pitcher's zone or a hitter's zone. So I don't think hitters have too much complaints tonight with Laz Diaz. He's been pretty consistent back there.
What do you remember about Laz? Is that?
I remember him as more of an on-the-plate guy, you know, and 10 years ago that was saying something, you know, because he used to be the old National League strike zone was throw it thigh high just off the plate all day long and you get the call. Obviously a little different game today with the radar technology that Major League Baseball uses to judge the umpires.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Radar technology.
That's it. Major League Baseball now has the technology that the military uses to track ballistic missiles. So Major League Baseball going high tech.
2-2 pitch, hit foul. And it count remains 2-2.
The new system has replaced the old Quest-Tech system that created a lot of controversy 5-6 years ago when it was first put in.
Now Quest-Tech was only in some ballparks at the time.
Only in some ballparks at the time. Now every Major League park has the new radar system, and every pitch is tracked in terms of velocity and break, type of movement on pitches, and also the strike zone. So umpires are graded on this new radar system. But to answer your question in a roundabout way, Kenny, yeah, Laz Diaz is always, I thought, very consistent, but more of a hitter's umpire. I don't think hitters have a complaint with him tonight.
Godin with a 2-2 pitch with 2 outs and 2 on. Low, ball 3. He's gone to that slider. Time and time again, the count is 4. Posada wants time out. On deck, Pudge Rodriguez. Certainly no day at the beach for any pitcher.
Godin on the season averaging about 90 miles an hour on his fastball. You see him miss down and in.
All this started with 2 outs and nobody on. Godin with his 2nd walk of the inning. The double in the middle. And the Rangers now have the bases loaded. And 2 outs for Pudge Rodriguez, who has scored twice tonight. He's had a single and a stolen base. And is 1 for 2. Bird at 3rd. Kinsler at 2nd. And Cruz at 1st. There's a slider that's low and away for a ball. There's a call strike. Saw some good numbers for Pudge Rodriguez with the bases loaded. Ken Singleton and David Cohn tonight. This game has been a lot about the offenses. Pitching hasn't been all that good. Kevin Millwood has had his moments as he's held the Yankees to 5 runs here. Foul ball. And it's a ball and 2 strikes for Pudge Rodriguez. But the Texas Rangers lead 8-5 in the top of the 6th. Chad Godin working in relief of Jabba Chamberlain, who worked 4 innings, allowed 7 runs on 9 hits.
And Pudge Rodriguez is now 5 for 7 batting in his return to the Rangers. And this is his 3rd game back after his trade. Back home where he started.
The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed strike 3, and the Rangers will leave the bases loaded. First strikeout for Chad Godin came at a most opportune time. Rangers leave the bases loaded, but they lead it 8-5. Well, fans celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium on Friday, August 28th, when the Yankees take on the White Sox. The first 18,000 fans 21 and older receive an inaugural season jersey koozie courtesy of Bud Light. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket windows, Yankee Clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Yankees half of the sixth inning. Nick Swisher will lead it off. Yankees trying to get back into this when they trail by 3. Kevin Linwood's still in there for the Texas Rangers, and his first pitch is high for ball 1. Swisher is fly to left and struck out swinging. And that is ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Swisher, Cabrera, and Jeter for the Yankees here in the 6th. Millwood got roughed up in the first inning, gave up 4 runs, but only 1 since then. The solo home run by Cano in the 4th inning. Outside, high and away, ball 3. The Rangers bullpen is busy. One thing the Rangers have done is Neftali Feliz, the hard-throwing rookie right-hander, is warming up for Texas.
Shows you the importance of this game to Ron Washington, the manager of the Rangers.
3-0 pitches poured in there for a call strike. 3-1 on Swisher. Rangers a game and a half behind the Boston Red Sox for the wild card. Red Sox are tied with the White Sox at the top of the 8th at Fenway, 3-all. Swisher swings, fouls it off, and now the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. There it is again for Swish. 3-2.
Great combination for Swisher of on-base percentage and power. He's hit at least 20 home runs in 5 straight seasons now.
Millwood ready for the payoff pitch to Nick Swisher. And he fouls it off. We'll do it all over again. I want to pass along our best wishes to Jack Williams' sister, Lisa Delafield, who's in St. Vincent's Hospital in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Speedy recovery for Lisa. Get well soon. Jack Williams, a member of our camera crew here. We got news that his sister was ill today, so we're going to see her get well soon, so Jack can come back here.
That's right, absolutely. Once
again, the 3-2 pitch. Swisher hits a high fly ball to center field. Marlon Byrd is there and makes the catch for out number 1 in the 6th inning. Swisher's now 0 for 3 in the game. And that'll bring up Melky Cabrera. Speaking of Melky, I saw Brett Gardner in the Yankee clubhouse today. Melky has shared center field time with Gardner, but Gardner's been on the disabled list with a broken thumb. He actually hit a little bit today.
He would be a valuable piece to get back, obviously. I mean, he's a great center fielder in terms of speed, but you see Millwood at 100 pitches now. Gardner would be a big lift.
Melky lifts one foul down the left field side. It seemed that Joe Girardi had a good feel for which one of the two to put into center field for a stretch of games, and he got the best out of both of them.
Well, Gardner's such a weapon on the base pass, going down the stretch run in September and then into postseason. He would be a nice weapon to have, whether starting or coming off the bench.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Melky, and it's just a little outside. Takes the ball on a strike. Let's look back at the injury to Brett Gardner. Headed into second, and his left hand.
Late slide, yeah.
Trying to break up a double play and fractured his thumb. That is Brett. The cast is off. Not even a splint. That's a good sign. Melky swings, drives one into center field. Bird coming on, and he makes the catch. Marlon Byrd. Here's Andrew Jones, multiple Gold Glove winner. You can appreciate that effort.
Andrew Jones used to play a shallow center field, and Texas is much improved defensively. No hesitation and a full commit to dive and get that ball. Well, if that ball gets by him, that ball's into center field, and we're going to watch Melky run the bases. Gutsy play by Byrd. Never hesitated.
Actually left his feet.
Seen Andrew Jones, as we saw earlier, the Gold Glover formerly with the Braves, make a lot of plays like that in his career. Kevin Millwood loves it.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and Derek Jeter to the plate. Has been on base 3 times. Derek has walked twice and singled. Since June 11th, Derek hitting over 365. And you can see his average has jumped up to 333. Now, he started the evening 5th in the American League in hitting. Ball and a strike to Jeter. Good breaking ball, and it's 1-2. There's that underwater swing you were talking about.
Yeah, that was one of Millwood's better sliders of the game. Really get on top of this. Down and away, got some tilt and depth to it as well.
One-two pitch, and it's lined into right field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. The ball's headed for the corner. Jeter's rounded first. He's on his way to second. Here comes the throw, and he's in with a stand-up double. Derek Jeter, 2 for 2 with a couple of walks, has now been on base 4 consecutive times.
And the beat goes on. After swinging, missing at a slider, gets a fastball that's supposed to be down and away and runs right down the middle. Short and quick. Look how short that swing was from Jeter. Just wait till the last minute. Don't try to do too much. Muscle it down the right field line. I'll tell you what, Hamilton comes up with a good throw here. He's got a strong throw, but Jeter is in standing up.
Derek is 23rd double of the year, and this is actually going to knock Kevin Millwood out of this game. So with 2 outs and Jeter at second, we're going to have a new pitcher coming in from the bullpen for the Texas Rangers. It'll be Neftali Perez, and we'll be back in just a moment. He's out of it after 5 2/3 innings, allowing 7 hits, a couple of strikeouts, and 5 walks, 107 pitches total for Milwick. And he will give way to Neftali Feliz. And this young man has a powerful fastball. Reaches upwards of 100 miles an hour. And his numbers are just off the chart.
Only 1 walk, 19 strikeouts, along with 4 hits in 14 1/3 innings.
Now the Rangers actually got him in part of a deal. He and the shortstop Elvis Andrus. And another young pitcher came over from the Braves for Mark Teixeira. Johnny Damon's up and takes a pitch for a called strike.
Well, a good deal for Texas. You got a starting shortstop. You got this guy as a potential closer, or he did start in the minor leagues. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this young kid Feliz with his career. Right now, he's obviously in the bullpen.
He's kind of on the Java plan. Pitch is low inside for a ball. Ball and a strike. When Java first came up, he worked out of the bullpen. The Yankees eventually made him a starter. Maso Arte up for the Yankees in their bullpen. Swing and a miss. 97 on that fastball.
And easy gas too. Ball just riding four-seam fastball up in the zone. Letter high. Johnny Damon cannot catch up to that.
Yeah, that's the one you got to be ultra quick on as a hitter. Breaking ball's hit well to center field. This is going to chase Bird back. Still going back near the warning track. Turns and makes the catch for the final out here in the 6th inning. So Feliz comes in, and actually Marlon Byrd this inning recorded all 3 putouts. Jeter had a double, but that was it for the Yankees. It's 8-5 Rangers. Yankee Stadium, the Yankees trailing by a score of 8-5 on our Cure DriveWell.com scoreboard. 8 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Texas Rangers. For the Yankees, 5 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Chris Davis is going to lead it off. Just recalled from the minor leagues today. He's got a 2-for-2 night going. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it off, strike 1. Davis has also scored a couple of runs. He was on his way to maybe record strikeout totals, but he's got plenty of power. 15 big league homers to go along with 6 in the minors this year. Foul tip and into the glove of Posada. There's no balls and 2 strikes. Okay, well, at the bottom of the order for the Texas Rangers tonight. Been pretty productive. Pudge Rodriguez has scored a couple of runs. Davis has scored 2. Andrus has scored 1 and driven in 3. Little roller towards the third base side. A-Rod has it, straightens up, throws him out. 1 down here in the 7th. First time that Davis has been retired in tonight's ball game. That'll bring up Elvis Andrus, who is yet to be retired by the Yankees. The Rangers' 20-year-old shortstop, soon to be 21. That'll be tomorrow. Has doubled, singled twice, scored a run, and driven in 3. And we were talking about that trade. Texas got not only Andrus, but Neftali Feliz, Matt Harrison, Bo Jones, and Jared Saltalamacchia in exchange for Mark Teixeira and Ron Mahan. And to think about it, Teixeira is no longer with the Atlanta Braves.
Sort of a franchise-changing trade.
Ball is hit in the air to center field for Melky Cabrera. First time tonight that Andrus has been retired. He's now 3 for 4. 2 down here in the 7th. And the Yankees have their first 1-2-3 inning. Julio Bourbon will come to the plate. He's been aboard twice. He's walked and singled, driven in a run, and scored 1. Recently recalled from the minor leagues. That's why that average is at 425. Udan hits the outside corner, and it's strike 1. The Yankees came out smoking with 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning, but the problem was there was too many at bats for the Rangers to recover, and they have. They lead at 8-5. Sinker is low, and it's a ball and a strike. Rangers came right back with 2 and made it 4-2. They came back with 2 in the second inning. And then they had a 5-run outburst in the 4th. That's inside. 2 balls and a strike on Bourbon.
Godin here in relief of Chamberlain, trying to complete his 3rd inning. Was touched up for a home run by Cruz to the right field. Worked out of a bases loaded jam last inning.
A lot of movement on that pitch, and it sailed outside. 3 balls and a strike.
Puts himself in the position to get that dreaded 2-out walk that we've talked about, Kenny.
And this is a guy you don't want to walk. I mean, he has 9 stolen bases and 10 tries in the big leagues. Strike 2 call. On the knees on the outside corner. And the pitch. He walked him. There's your 2-out walk. The Yankees have handed out 6 walks in the game tonight. And you got to figure this guy's going to go sometime soon. 3 walks for Jabba Chamberlain. 3 walks for Chad Godin. And it'll bring up Michael Young. Young is 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. The Yankees have handed out 5 2-out walks in the game. Here's the throw to first to check on Bourbon. It didn't seem to deter him from taking a big lead over there at first.
See if the Yankee bench is guessing along. Maybe try to pitch out here somewhere early in this count.
Sometimes you use throws over to first base to gauge if the runner's thinking about going. How difficult is it for him to get back to first? You know, if he has to dive back and it's close, usually tells you he's thinking about going. 3 throws over there in a row.
That's something that that Posada gave him the pickoff. That throw to first base came from the bench. And a lot of times bench coaches get upset when Godin throws over quickly. They want you to come set and see if you could freeze the runner and then throw over to first to see if he'll tip whether he's going, just as you said, Kenny.
Not going here, and the pitch is hit in the air to right center field. Hit pretty well. Going back is Nick Swisher near the scoreboard out in right center, and this one's gone. A home run from Michael Young, and it's now 10-5. The Texas Rangers score with 2 outs. Well, we said Young has good power to the opposite field, and he proved it to us. His 22nd home run of the year.
Michael Young, some great power numbers at third base this year. By the look on his face, he knew he got it on the sweet spot. He knew he hit it well. Just well enough to get over the auxiliary scoreboard here at the new Yankee Stadium.
Hamilton swings and lines one into right field. It's going to be in there for at least a base hit. Let's see. He turns it first and is going to hold on as Nick Swisher gets it back in. All of this once again with 2 outs.
Two outs and nobody on. See Michael Young here, a fastball that drifts back towards the middle, full extension. You see his arms all the way down. Lets the ball travel in, drives that ball to right field, hits the bottom half of the ball and gets carry. And you got a home run.
You can tell when a hitter looks up like that, he thinks he got it. Hamilton's 4 for 4, ties the season high with the 4 hits. This ball is hit in the air to right field. Swisher has it and makes the catch for the final out, but the Rangers score twice here as Michael Young hits his 22nd home run of the year. 9 of the 10 Ranger runs have come with 2 outs tonight. We're going to stay for God Bless America here at the stadium.
As we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Now please join Kate Smith as she sings God Bless America.
$46,511 on hand. And our Cure DriveWell.com scoreboard, it's 10-5 Rangers. Mark Teixeira is going to lead it off against Feliz here in the bottom of the 7th. Takes a pitch for a call strike. Teixeira tonight is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Feliz deals, and that one's high. Ball with a strike, 98 miles an hour. Tony, at any time did you throw 98?
No, I don't think I ever threw quite like this kid throws the ball.
Ground ball towards the hole. Davis is over, scoops it up, throws the Feliz covering, and there's one down here in the 7th. You know what? You're right about nice, easy arm motion, and just here it comes.
You could tell that he was also a starter in the minor leagues. So there's going to be, as you said, maybe a little Jabba Chamberlain debate, relieving, starting. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the rotation next year. But that was a nice little change up there, and we've seen a slider. He's got 3 good pitches and not afraid to mix them in. Of course, his changeup's about how hard I threw towards the end of my career. I think it was around 87-mile-an-hour changeup that he got that last out on. That was my best fastball towards the end of my career.
Yeah, but there's something to be said for experience and location. Here's A-Rod, 2 for 3. A couple of bloop singles for A-Rod tonight. Both the right field. Just a little outside, and his ball 1. A-Rod has scored one of the 4 Yankee runs. As I mentioned before, the Yankees jumped out with 4 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning against Kevin Millwood. But the Texas Rangers systematically got him back and now have a 10-5 lead. Take it all the way. That's poured in there for a strike. The Yankees had beaten the Rangers 4 of the first 6 meetings this year. A-Rod swings and fouls it back high in the air behind home plate. Pudge Rodriguez, that's about 6-7 rows back.
In case you were wondering, Kenny, Boston has jumped ahead of the White Sox 4-3 now in the 8th inning. Oh, how about this update? It's 5-3 now.
5-3.
5-3, Boston up on the White Sox in Boston.
The Red Sox are tough at home. We know that. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Alex Rodriguez. But you look at some of these records around the league. Everybody seems to be playing a lot better at home this year. There's only 2 teams with a winning record on the road, the Yankees and the Angels. Two-two pitch. Wee, high and inside. 101. And just a little wild, too. 3 balls and 2 strikes now on A-Rod. The Yankees 37-28 on the road after coming off a 7-3 road trip, and the Angels 38-26 on the road. Everybody else is under 500 on the road.
The last 3 fastballs by this young flamethrower, 98, 99, and 101.
Fastball is fouled back. 101 again.
Get loose.
This is impressive.
I don't care what radar gun you're using. You're throwing 101 with any radar gun. That is bringing it.
When we were in Texas early this year, they were talking about this young man. As, you know, as if he was going to come up sometime this season. Now we get to see him for real. Here's the 3-2 pitch again, and A-Rod swings and misses strike 3 on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Go through the sequence here. Hold the slider down and away. Right back to the fastball on the black. Another one in. A-Rod fouls it back. Another slider. Fastball up at 101. Another one at 101. Turns this one over a little bit. Takes a little off, only 100. Up and in.
Took a little off, huh?
I mean, that is just natural gas. Easy motion. Great extension.
Here's Matsui. And he takes one. Well, took a little off to get it over, but missed. 99. Matsui's double. Drove in 2 runs and also scored in the 1st inning. He's also grounded out and fly to left. 1 for 3. Upstairs, and that is high for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Now, the other pitchers watch somebody this young throwing this hard and just say they kind of go back in time in their own mind when they and their top flight fastballs.
It certainly gets your attention. I mean, this is the one time that pitchers with good arms can shine. You know, early before the game, batting practice, you watch home run hitters hit bombs, and during the game. But when you get somebody like this coming out throwing 100, 101, boy, people get up on the top step and start. You want to see it up close.
3-0 pitch, and that is in there for a call strike. You know, the fans reacted when the scoreboard showed that he had hit 100 miles an hour. People will pay for power hitting and power pitching. 3-1 pitch. Matsui drives this one deep to right field, but it is foul. He turned around a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Now, a bit of throwing hard. It's about location, too. That one was right down the pipe. And the way Matsui's been swinging lately, you knew he was going to hit it hard. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Matsui. The Yankees down by 5 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Here is the 3-2 pitch, and it's a slider. It hits Matsui in the foot. And the reason why he got a slider is because he turned around that previous fastball. So Matsui will trot down to first. He's on with 2 outs.
Well, that's exactly right. He just pulls it in and hits Matsui on the back foot. That hurts.
Was that English or Japanese?
Gonna need a translator to lip read that, but Matsui's on first base nonetheless.
And here is Posada. The slider, he throws that pretty hard as well. It couldn't feel good. Posada's had a homer. He's also fouled out and walked. 1 for 2. And he takes a pitch for a call strike. Feliz working in relief of Kevin Millwood, who maybe wasn't at his best, but he got plenty of run support tonight. Swing and foul back. No balls and 2 strikes for Jorge Posada. Red Sox now lead the White Sox 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th.
See Pudge Rodriguez motioning up, wants his fastball up.
99 with a waist fastball. Two and 2. What was that? That's off speed.
Yeah, that was a slider. That was right there. You know, sometimes umpires miss pitches too. You know, they're human.
They do?
That was right down the middle with the slider, and it locked up everybody.
You know, anytime I asked, they said no. It was the correct call. 2-2 pitch to Posada, and it is called strike 3. See, Posada's going to ask, and he's going to tell him, yeah, that's a strike. And that's it. Yankees leave a man on here in the 7th. It's on to the 8th. The Yankees are down by 5. of this 3-game homestand. It's 10-5 Texas. They've pounded out 15 hits. They've scored 9 of their 10 runs with 2 outs. That is some clutch hitting. Going to the top of the 8th. Chad Godin still in there. Neftali Feliz, we've been impressed by this young man's ability to throw a fastball. Several times he's been 100 or over 100 miles an hour.
You talk about a nice loose arm. Ball just jumps out of his hand, and it looks effortless too. His motion is smooth. His arm action is tremendous.
Ian Kinsler misses a slider, and it's strike 1. Kinsler has doubled in 4 trips tonight. He'll be followed by Cruz and then Punch Rodriguez here in the 8th inning. Moving fastball is downstairs, 1-1. Well, tomorrow night it'll be a battle of left-handers here at the stadium. Andy Penn back on the bump for the Yankees. He'll face the youngster Derek Holland. Another swing and a miss by Kinsler. Holland is a youngster who has a good arm for these Rangers.
Another youngster, 22 years old. Neftali Feliz and Holland have been the 2 top prospects in the Rangers organization for the last couple of years. And they've got them both in the big leagues right now, a lefty and a righty. And we saw Feliz, and now we'll see Holland, who was a big part of the rumors going to Toronto in the Holiday trade. And the Rangers thought so highly of Holland, they didn't want to give him up.
2-2 pitch hit on the ground foul. And it seems to be at least one prospect in every organization. They draw the line on that guy. We can't get rid of him.
Well, J.P. Ricciardi, the general manager for the Blue Jays, was asking for both originally. He wanted Feliz and Holland, and of course the answer was a resounding no from the Rangers.
The line went dead. Ball is fouled off. Doc Halliday's kind of struggled since all this news about him being traded, where he was going. Every other day, they were asking him questions, your feelings about leaving Toronto, and he didn't leave.
Yeah. Huge letdown.
Yeah.
Emotionally, there's going to be a letdown.
2-2 pitch is low and inside.
Especially since J.P. Ricciardi chose to make it so public, as you said, Kenny. From day one, he was shopping Halliday to everybody and anybody, and really the asking price was so high that they ended up holding on to Halliday. And you can't help it, as a pitcher, and I've been in that situation a lot. There's a huge emotional letdown after nothing gets done.
2-2 pitch hit hard on the ground. It's a fair ball down the third base line. Kinsler might be headed for second. In fact, he is. Johnny Damon's up with it. The throw will not be in time, and Kinsler has his second double of the ball game, leading off the 8th inning here. His 24th double of the season.
Well, a lot of hits for the Rangers today in their attack. You see Godin trying to get it in. It stays kind of inner third at best. Kinsler's always had a quick bat. Look at that, almost no stride. Slight uppercut. Gets the head out right down the line.
We talk about Teixeira being a back leg hitter, so is Kinsler. Kind of lean back and try and lift and separate. Here's Nelson Cruz, who's homered in 3 trips, and he swings here. It's a hot shot to third. A-Rod will throw on the first, and there are 2 down. I make that 1 out. Kinsler remains at second. The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Chevrolet. Find your nearest Chevy dealer on ChevyOffers.com. 7-3 now. Tampa Bay leading Toronto. 6-3, top of the 9th inning. Last chance for the White Sox at Fenway. Baltimore over Minnesota at the Metrodome. They lead 5-3, and just getting underway out on the coast, the Tigers and the Angels. In the National League, 1-1, bottom of the 10th inning. Pittsburgh beats the Phillies 6-4. There's a pitch in there for a strike. The Mets lose to the Marlins down in Florida 2-1. In Colorado, the Dodgers tied at 2 in the 5th. That is our ChevyOffers.com scoreboard. Punch Rodriguez with a call strike is 1 for 3 tonight with a couple of runs scored. Underwater swing, and it's 0-2.
Well, the Rangers have just had base runners every inning. 16 hits and 6 walks, 22 base runners and 10 runs for the Rangers.
Breaking ball is hit in the air to left field. Johnny Damon is over, mixed to catch, and now there are 2 outs. So following the leadoff double by Kinsler, a ground out and a fly out. And maybe they can get Chris Davis here, and have the Rangers not score with 2 outs. In-game box score is brought to you by Hyundai. Ready for good news? Get Hyundai Assurance and up to $5,000 cash back on select models now. So the Rangers have done. There it is. Marlon Byrd, the only one who did not get invited to the party. Always seems to be one guy.
He got on base, so he got to walk. But he wasn't completely shut out. No hits.
It's like being at the door of the party, but they won't let you in. Damaso Marte is warming up in the Yankee bullpen. Recently coming off the DL. And that's who Joe Girardi wants, as Posada had gone out to talk to Godin just to stall here and give Marte a few more minutes or a few more tosses to warm up. So Godin is done for the evening. He's going to leave a runner at second with 2 outs. And the lefty hitting pitching Marte will face the lefty hitting Davis. And we'll be back with the rest of the top of the 8th in just a moment. Final warm-up tosses. He'll have a runner at second with 2 outs, and he'll face a lefty hitter. 8 games this season. 7 of those games before he went on the DL, and an inflated ERA of 13.50, but 7 strikeouts. That's impressive in 6 innings. His first outing since coming off the disabled list was actually the other day in Boston. Came in with the bases loaded and got out of it. Stranded all 3 runners. Got a pop-up and a strikeout. And right here we'll face the lefty hitting Chris Davis. Marte deals, and the first pitch is a call strike. Now, in his minor league rehab stint, Marte appeared in 13 games with an 0-1 record with a 2.77 ERA. 11 strikeouts, just 4 walks in 13 innings in rehab stint. Now back in the big time. And the 0-1 pitch to Davis. Breaking ball hangs inside. It's a ball and a strike. Marte comes back successfully to give Joe Girardi another left-hander in the bullpen to go along with Phil Koch. They can actually use one of them to match up as he is tonight against Davis. Pitches outside, ball 2, 2-1.
He's going to be in a much different role than the Yankees had envisioned when they traded for him last year. Got him and Xavier Nady from Pittsburgh last year. And Ross Ohlendorf and Jeff Karsten's part of that deal on the Yankees farm going over there.
3 balls and a strike on Davis. Davis has had himself a good night, his first night back from the minor leagues. 2 for 3 with a couple of runs scored. He's also drawn a walk. Three-one pitch is hit on the ground to second for Robinson Cano. Gobbles it up, throws out Davis, and after the leadoff double, nothing else for the Texas Rangers here in the 8th inning. They do not score. It's on to the bottom of the 8th. Getting late for the Yankees. They need some late foot. grand cash back on select models now. Derek Jeter at the top, 2 for 2. Johnny Damon and Mark Teixeira working on 0 for 3s. Multiple hit night for Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano has had a homer. So has Jorge Posada, a 2-run shot. Speaking of Cano, here he is in the bottom of the 8th. Feliz deals and Cano swings and fouls it back. Strike 1. Most ever pitches that Feliz has thrown in a ball game has been 31. But the Rangers will never pitch him in back-to-back days. So that was his 26th pitch. So it looks like he's going to go past 31 pitches in tonight's game. Cano chases another slider and misses 0-2.
And he's not exactly predictable, as you see right there. He's not afraid to use that slider. The guy that throws 100 miles an hour comes out. Cano's trying to start it early. We got another slider down in the dirt. And that's what happens when you throw that hard. You can make hitters look bad when you get your off-speed stuff anywhere near the plate.
Well, the Yankees need base runners, and Cano's helping them out. I think he swung at 2 pitches that were out of the zone. Tried a backdoor breaking ball, and it's a ball with 2 strikes. Cano, Swisher, and Cabrera for the Yankees. Bottom of the order here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees down by 5. Final score up at Fenway Park. The Red Sox beat the White Sox 6-3. Cano late on the fastball, fouls it back. But at this point, the Red Sox are 6.5 games behind the Yankees. Pending the outcome of this game. Way upstairs, and it's 2-2. The Rangers, of course, are trying to stay a game and a half behind the Red Sox in a wild card race. If they can win this one tonight. Cano takes upstairs. Remember, the count was 0-2. Now it's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yankees need base runners, and they need them in a hurry. Three-two pitch, and Cano fouls it off. Now we all know Cano has had problems hitting with runners in scoring position this year, just barely over 200, but with nobody on base, he's hitting 360. So he's been a good setup man this year. Pitch is hit on the ground to third for Michael Young, who bobbles, recovers, throws, and gets Cano by about a step and a half. So 1 up and 1 down here in the 8th inning.
Michael Young, a very good defender. As we talked about before, moved over to third base this year. Kind of a snow cone, but great recovery. Got plenty of time. Sidearm flip, got him by a couple steps.
We talked about the Yankees needing base runners in a hurry. They have 40 comeback wins this year. The largest deficit they have overcome is 5 runs. That's where it stands right now. Here's Swisher. Swings, and it's a high towering pop up to the infield. Chris Davis is calling for it, and the first baseman has it for round number 2. Swisher just got underneath that one and is now 0 for 4. Well, tonight he was a legend on the mound, former Yankee Goose Gossage, who he says was the most feared pitcher in baseball. Well, Goose will tell you on the Verizon Files game wrap-up after the game on My 9 News. Hey, Goose in the house. Here's Melky Cabrera. He's also 0 for 3 tonight. But he's been robbed on a couple occasions. Once by the first baseman, once by the center fielder. Pitches a call strike. Feliz has come in and has retired every Yankee batter but one. He hit Hideki Matsui with a breaking ball. So the Yankees have not been able to get anything going against this young man. Pitch is swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. And this has been just what he's been doing just since his recall from the minor leagues. Melky spoils an 0-2 pitch.
Well, coming into this game in his short major league career so far versus left-handed batters, Feliz is 3 for 24, a 125 average. Lefties hitting off of him. Righties 1 for 23, 0-43.
Ball and 2 strikes on Cabrera.
The Yankees, after scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the first, have had only Cano's home run since then. Rangers, meanwhile, scored 10 runs with 16 hits.
Breaking ball fouled off by Melky Cabrera. If nothing else, he's making Feliz work here.
I give Millwood credit too. Even though his line was kind of ugly, he gave up 4 in the bottom of the first and held him right there. He only gave up 1 more run, and then of course the Ranger bullpen has been outstanding.
So far tonight, Feliz has been the Ranger bullpen.
Yes.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Melky Cabrera. The Yankee Stadium crowd after the first, there hasn't been much to cheer about offensively. C.J. Wilson and Darren O'Day. Breaking ball, and it's low, ball 3, 3-2. Same thing happened with Cano. 0-2 to 3-2. Three-two pitch, and it's lined into center field, and Melky Cabrera has a well-earned single and is now 1 for 4. Ron Washington, the Ranger manager, taking a slow walk out to the mound.
3-2 right down the middle, around 98 miles an hour. Melky right back up the middle, probably about 108 miles an hour off the bat. Always comes off harder than you threw it, especially when you hit it on the button.
So Feliz to the dugout. He's gone by his career high in pitches. He's thrown 42, but he leaves with a lead, and he's a happy young man. It is brought to you in part by Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today. Verizon Fios. Over 100 HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. And by your local Lexus dealer. Well, Neftali Fali is indeed very merry in the Rangers dugout after a fine performance. Gave up only one hit, a couple of strikeouts, hit a batter, and kept the Yankees off the scoreboard after coming in with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Here is Darren O'Day. Certainly a different look for these Yankee hitters. 13 of O'Day's last 15 appearances have been scoreless. And he's working to a nice earned run average of 1.75. 44 strikeouts in 46 in the 3rd innings. And he'll get Derek Jeter with a man on and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And Jeter takes a pitch for a called strike. Jeter's been on base 4 times. Walked twice, singled and doubled. Has jumped his average up to 335. High and outside, a ball and a strike.
See, Darren O'Day's been solid for the Rangers this year, the sidewinding right-handed pitcher. And actually picked up the scrap heap from the Mets. The Mets designated him for assignment in April. He actually pitched 3 innings for the Mets early in April. And the Mets let him go, and the Rangers got him. And he's been outstanding.
Hit on the ground is short. Andrus to Kinsler, and that'll do it. Forced play ends the inning for the Yankees here in the 8th inning. It's on to the 9th. The Rangers leading the Yankees by a score of 10-5. Ninth inning. Rangers holding a 5-run lead on a very warm evening here at the stadium. Marte deals to Elvis Andrus, who's had himself a very good night before his birthday. 21 years old. He's able to go out with David Cohn anywhere in the city.
Keep the position players away from the starting pitchers.
Ball is hit on the ground for A-Rod on a couple of hops, and he'll throw across the diamond. And there is 1 out here in the 9th inning. That's back to the top of the order. And Julio Bourbon, who has scored a couple of runs. These 2 young men batting 9th and 1st. You get the feeling they're going to be around the Rangers for a while. Marte has faced 2 batters and got 2 groundouts. Strike 1 call. Sure, they'll have Bourbon working on his defense and make him a better all-around player. Breaking ball is outside, 1-1. 2 balls and a strike outside of the first inning tonight. It hasn't been much for the Yankee fans to cheer about. Yankees came out smoking against Kevin Millwood. 2-run double by Matsui, 2-run homer for Posada, but that's been just about it. Swung on it, missed, 2-2. Cano did have a home run, his 20th of the season. That was the 5th run for the Yankees, but 5 runs on 8 hits will not match 10 runs on 16. 2-2 pitch, swung on it, missed, strike 3. Marte, very impressive. Strikes out Bourbon for his first strikeout of the evening.
Marte's had good stuff. Fastball righty up and away. Velocity's back up from his elbow injury earlier this year. 92, 93 miles an hour now, which is about where he was before. Maybe he was a little higher than that in his prime with Pittsburgh, but he's certainly healthy again.
Ball 1 to Michael Young. Another multi-hit game for Michael Young tonight. He's driven in 3 runs. He scored a couple, singled, and a 2-run homer. Home run came in the 7th inning. His 22nd of the year. That's low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Young, his 48th multi-hit game of the year. He trails only Derek Jeter as that pitch is low for ball 3. Jeter with 51. It'll make that 52 for Jeter now. He's had a multi-hit game tonight. Robinson Cano has 52. That is ball 4. Young draws a 2-out walk. A 2-out walk again.
Another 2-out walk, which has really been the undoing of the Yankees.
And Ichiro Suzuki leads the league in multi-hit games with 60.
You know, Kenny, going back to the 4th inning, Jabba Chamberlain gave up 5 runs in the 4th inning. 2 outs to start out that inning. Ian Kinsler popped out, Nelson Cruz struck out, and then Ivan Rodriguez walked.
Ball 1 to Hamilton.
And Chris Davis probably hit the hardest hit ball that inning. Speaking of the top of the 4th, when Jabba gave up 5 runs, Davis singled. We had 6 2-out walks today. Then came the bleeders in that 4th inning. Elvis Andrus singles on a softball, kind of that ground ball to Damon. Then Bourbon hit a little bleeder to left field.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1 on Hamilton, who has 4 hits and a couple of runs batted in tonight.
Michael Young followed that up with kind of a soft single on a ground ball to center field. Although he hit that ball halfway decent, it was a ground ball. And then Hamilton fought one off.
Strike 2. Nice breaking ball from Marte.
And that was the undoing of Jabba Chamberlain. That 5th inning all happened with 2 outs. He made some good pitches that inning, but it started with a 2-out walk. And give Texas credit, they fought off some good pitches as well.
He couldn't stop the bleeding. 1-2 pitch. That was just a little bit outside. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got it. Marte, impressive. He gave up the 2-out walk, but he had 2 strikeouts in this inning. Last chance for the Yankees coming up. They trail by 5. It's on to the bottom of the 9th inning. former Yankee Goose Gossage. Who does he say was the most feared pitcher in baseball? On the Verizon Files game wrap-up after the game on My 9 News. Last chance for the Yankees. They're going to face a new pitcher. It's going to be Jason Grilli, making his second appearance since coming off the disabled list. So Grilli will come in and do the pitching for the Rangers here. He'll get Damon, Teixeira, and Rodriguez. 2, 3, and 4 in the Yankee order. And the big right-hander deals upstairs for ball 1. .40 games, 35 strikeouts in 37 innings. There's the call strike, and it's 1-1.
Jason Grilli just recently back off the DL. As you see, Johnny Damon on the night, 0-3. Jason Grilli was activated Saturday from the DL. Had a little elbow problem.
Breaking ball, broken bat, but it's going to drop in right field for a base hit. So Johnny Damon on with a lead-off single here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Kevin Willwood stands to be the winner tonight if the Rangers can hold on here. Here's Teixeira, who is 0-for-3 with a walk and a run scored. Rangers do not hold Damon on at first, and the first pitch is high and away to Teixeira. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Yankees trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 9th. They are down by 5. An opening salvo in the first inning and everything looked promising, but since then been just about all Texas. Teixeira taking it. It's ball 3, 3 balls and no strikes. You can bet he's taking this one all the way, and it's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk. And the first 2 Yankees are aboard here in the 9th inning. Both Ron Washington, you can see Mike Maddox.
That'll be it.
Wow, that's it. Been good to know you. Wasn't around long. Going to the bullpen. So Grilli gives up a base hit and a walk. And Ron Washington has seen enough. I think he's seen what the Yankee offense can do. You can read the numbers.
He's not going to mess around in this ballpark.
Yeah, the Rangers have had all kinds of problems with the Yankees since 2005. The Yankees are 27-11 against the Rangers. We'll be back. Yankees try and rally here tonight. Grilly came on and started the ninth inning, gave up a single to Damon and a walk to Teixeira. And you were saying, David, how Ron Washington doesn't want to mess around in this ballpark. He goes to his closer in a non-save situation. Francisco, 36 games, 18 saves, 41 strikeouts in 35 innings with 8 walks and 28 hits allowed. He has a live arm as well. He'll get A-Rod as the Yankees trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 8th inning. But they're going to have to deal with the Rangers closer. A-Rod tonight is 2 for 4. A couple of weeks ago, on August 14th, Francisco had his worst outing of the year. Gave up 6 runs on 7 hits in 2/3 of an inning, and blew the save and got the loss to the Boston Red Sox. Yankees are hoping for the same sort of thing here.
Wow. Doesn't happen a lot to this guy. He's had a couple of stints on the DL this year with the right shoulder problems. Nothing serious. He's been back and he's still got 18 saves, even though he's been on the DL twice, as we mentioned.
So the fans that are left, quite a few of the 46,511 have departed, but they are seeing the Yankees trying to show a late rally here. A-Rod's had a couple of bloop singles to right field. He has scored a run. (10-5), the Rangers lead it. This is the loudest the crowd has been since the first inning. First pitch is in there for a call strike. 94 miles an hour. A-Rod coming off a 9 for 26 road trip. Takes one outside and it's 1-1. Has gone 2 for 4 tonight.
It's almost a situation here, Kenny, where, if he hits a 3-run homer, it's almost a rally killer.
Yeah.
You almost want to see a few doubles and get some more base runners if you're the Yankees. If you're on the Yankee side looking for a win.
You're trying to work your way on base, set it up for the next guy. Inside, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike.
With that being said, I think the Yankees would take a 3-run homer.
Yeah, but I see your point, because then you have to regroup, start all over again.
Almost like you want base runners. Keep that pressure. That ball's inside off the plate. Pudge tries to frame it. Diaz has been very consistent. He hasn't called a lot of balls off the plate tonight at all.
Way outside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. A little more concern on the face of Ron Washington.
Tried a 2-1 splitter there. First and second, nobody out in the ninth. 5-run lead. Had confidence to throw it, but now you got a 3-run count. Now you really got a chance to work yourself into a jam.
Here's call strike 2, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 95 miles an hour.
Right down the middle, right at the knees.
A-Rod trying to work his way on, taking all the way. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And it's low, ball 4. The bases are loaded. Francisco walks the first man he faces. That'll move Damon to third. And Teixeira to second. That'll bring up Hideki Matsui. Really opened the door. The Yankees are trying to keep the line moving. Matsui has doubled. Grounded to second. Fly to left and been hit by a pitch. Fans can sense something is about to happen. Pitch to Matsui. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Pretty gutsy pitch. The hot Matsui in there, a good fastball hitter. We're going to pull the string here with a little splitter for a strike. And Matsui pulls off of it.
Bases loaded, nobody out for the Yankees. Matsui swings and misses, strike 2.
Another splitter. This one even better than the last one, down, and that's Francisco's out pitch. Gets good tumbling action on that splitter. Fastball up in the mid-90s when it's right.
Yankees have won 4 games this year when trailing after 8 innings. Inside, ball 1, 1-2. They only had just one of those type of wins all of last season. You saw Jorge Posada on deck. Matsui has driven in 2 of the 5 Yankee runs tonight. In 17 runs in his last 8 games. Pitch is on the way. It's hit in the right field for a base hit. Damon will score. The bases will remain loaded. It's now a 10-6 ball game. Matsui's 3rd run batted into the ninth.
So the sequence here. First pitch changeup, got splitter action to it. Another one right there. Down and in with another one. Tries the curveball, hangs it out over the middle of the plate and up. Soft, 4 pitches in a row. Matsui gets the hanging curveball, keeps the line moving. Bases loaded. Tying run in the box with Jorge Posada now.
Yeah, now you'll take the homer. Posada has a home run tonight. Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, out to talk to Francisco. The home run came in the 1st inning. His 16th of the year with man on. Now he's got the bases loaded. Nobody out. The Yankees trailing by 4. Outside for ball 1. Francisco walked the first man he faced and then gave up a base hit to Matsui. Posada takes a call strike and it's 1-1. Excellent numbers with the bases loaded for Jorge Posada. Cano is next. Foul back. He had a good swing and it's 1-2.
The fastball up and out over the plate. Probably a ball. As you see, Posada chases it, but it had good life on it. Posada trying to get on that fastball. Can't quite get on top of it. Posada hitting .325 at home this year with 12 home runs.
Timeout is called. .40 comeback wins this season, 3 when trailing by 4+ runs. The 1-2 pitch, and Posada hits a little roller down the third baseline. This is going to be a tough play. Young's up with it. He has no play. Teixeira scores, and it's now a 10-7 game. The tying runs are on base, and Posada keeps the line moving and picks up his 3rd run batted into the ninth.
And there's absolutely no defense for that. A good changeup and barely cued off the end of the bat. Michael Young's got no play.
We're going to have a pinch runner at first base. Posada representing the tying run. And running at first is Jerry Hairston Jr. bases loaded, still nobody out. Cano at the plate is 1 for 4. The one was a home run. Pitches inside for ball 1. The Yankees have gotten a single, a walk, another walk, a single and a single, and have scored twice here tonight. Cano takes the call strike, and it's 1-1.
Pudge setting up away, yanks it down and in. Diaz right on it, to his credit, calls it. Rarely do you get that call when you got to move the glove that much as a catcher, but it clearly was a strike.
Cano swings, lines it into left field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Rodriguez scores. Here comes Matsui. It's now a 10-9 ball game. Still nobody out. Cano with a 2-run single.
Another fastball right there, down and in. Cano staying on it, fighting it off the other way. We've seen Cano, when he's going well, do that so often. Stay on the fastball, hit the fastball the other way. Classic Cano swing.
Another multi-hit game for Robinson Cano. Still nobody out. Runners at first and second. Tying run now in scoring position. Hairston at second, Cano at first. And Nick Swisher will come to the plate. Swisher is 0 for 4. 4 runs in the 9th inning for the Yankees. Swisher squares the bunt, takes it high for a ball. A little more concern on the Ranger faces in their dugout. The Yankees in anticipation of a comeback here tonight. Swisher has 3 sacrifice bunts this season. Squares the bunt again, pops it up. An easy play from Michael Young, and there's 1 out. The Swisher does not get the job done. And there's 1 down. It'll bring up Melky Cabrera. Swisher not able to execute.
Well, this is a killer, no 2 ways about it. You can see the bat was so flat. You know, when you come around with the bunt, if you don't get the angle right, then you're more than likely going to pop it up. As you saw, Swisher's bat was really flat. There's no way to get the ball on the ground.
Here's Melky Cabrera. And he takes a pitch for a call strike. Melky's 1 for 4, had a single his last time. Melky has been clutch in these situations all season long. He's got 3 walk-offs himself. Check of Hairston at second. There's a ball, and it's 1-1. Melky's had 17 runs batted in from the 7th inning or later this year. Derek Jeter is on deck. And he's hitting .417 in the 9th inning. So he answers the call late. Inside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
Another changeup, down and in. You could see that he kind of overthrew it, kind of hung on to it too long, trying to get that ball down and away. It goes down and in.
2-1 pitch. Melky swings, hot shot, line drive, caught by Andrus, and it's a double play as Hairston is doubled off at second, and the Rangers hold on and win it by a score of 10-9. Well, the Yankees with a valiant effort, but the Rangers had just enough runs to win this one and edge the Yankees by a score of 10-9 as Melky Cabrera does not get this one through.
See Jerry Hairston just with a break to third that cost him the play.
Andrus sets sails for second, and oh, that's a close play at second. Hairston is called out by the second base umpire, Baczynski.
It looked like that angle there. He might have just got him.
He got him. And that's going to do it for the Yankees in the opening game of this series. Well, for only the second time this year, the Yankees lose the opening game of a series at home. That happened on opening day as the Rangers win 10-9. An exciting finish, but not enough for the Yankees tonight. We'll be back with more.